tall up here.
Here we go.
Hello!
Could you,
Yes,
could you make me horizontal?
Yeah, save that for when we do the
Yeah.
420 show.
Yes.
Just upside down.
Yeah.
If we can just get it spinning.
Yeah, there you go. I was wondering if we could, like, for that show, if we could set a camera up in the middle and do that, like, that 70s show thing to set it up.
Oh my god, that'd be so good.
I think we will actually be trying to do
We
that.
should absolutely do that.
Anyway, we should probably talk about the show we're doing right
We
now.
should.
Hi,
Show.
everyone. This is Board Meeting. That's the show that we're doing right now. I'm Chris. I don't know what else to talk about. This is my first time as chairman, so I'm like...
It's very exciting.
Chairman Chris.
Thank you.
Do you want to maybe introduce yourself and talk a little bit about who you are?
Sure. I'm Chris. I'm a PhD student in the Plan H program, which is the Media, Cinema, and Digital Studies program here at UW Milwaukee. And I'm kind of a total nerd and a big film nerd. That's kind of my concentration. Hence the games that I've chosen for today. I'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. Okay, we'll get them in shot.
We'll have those up in a minute. I'll have that
That's
worked
awesome.
out. So everybody knows I'm Dave. I'm on a bunch of stuff. I do things around here. I'm also first year
Very
PhD in the same concentration as my lovely friends. And I am we're doing stuff. This is going to be our first like themed week. I'm very excited.
Yeah, kind of a themed month with one exception. I'll talk a little bit more about that.
Dope.
Yeah.
So, I'm Janelle. You've also probably seen me around. I also do things here. I'm here all the time. I don't go home. So, I'm a PhD student here at UW Milwaukee, doing the same thing you guys are doing, focusing on game studies, and here I'm gonna play a game. What am I playing?
So, because the Oscars are this weekend, that meaningless. I almost said meaningful. I guess some people think it's meaningful.
Chris, actually, we've got a mic there next to you. Maybe we should like swing that out a little bit.
Should I do some ASMR?
I mean, that might keep the mic a little bit, but
We've
I mean,
also got some buds.
just
and
rather
chat.
than like bumping it with your.
Was I bumping it?
You might
I'm
have
sorry.
been. No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I didn't even feel it.
Some people are walking and listening to this Twitch.
Yes.
What's going on?
They're twitching while they're twitching, I guess.
Heyo.
Anyway, because the Oscars are this weekend, we wanted to play some movie-themed games for today. What we're going to do this month, we're going to start with these two games that you can see here, these lovely games. Cinephile, a card game, and Double Feature, which is another card game, even though we're technically a board game show. I like to refer to this as analog gaming.
Analog gaming,
Analog.
yeah. Tabletop gaming,
Yes.
something like that.
This is the one currently.
And because it's February, that's also Valentine's Day. So next week we're planning on playing some romance-themed games, and
It's
then
gonna be a lot of fun.
yes,
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
and then after that we're going to dive into some more kind of paratextual games, going along with scholar Paul Booth's conceptualization of paratextual games, with a couple games that kind of tie into movies. In some ways, and I don't want to spoil what we're going to play, but you know they'll have that theme.
It's going to be really exciting.
It should be pretty cool.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I think so. But I wanted to play these games because like I said, I'm a giant movie nerd, and these games are like total. They're made for movie nerds, basically. This one, Double Feature, is it showing?
Yeah.
This game was developed by one of the guys who did Munchkin.
Okay.
Which is really cool, and I think I forgot to look at his name. If you could look that up for me, Dave, that would be great. Just because I feel like we should give the developers some credit while we're playing.
Absolutely.
And then Cinephile, which I think. Do you guys mind if we start off with Cinephile today?
Let's do it.
No, that sounds great.
Cinephile was developed. It says in here. By these two cats. Corey Everett, he is the creator of Cinephile, a card game. When he was 21, he was on the short-lived IFC series Ultimate Film Fanatic, and he lost. And then Steve Isaacs, the illustrator of Cinephile, a card game, and he and Corey have agreed on a movie like twice ever.
Wow.
So they designed this game, and this is I think this game is lovely. I mean, you can see it's kind of like in this very minimalist packaging,
Yeah,
and the
love the
cards
packaging.
as well are kind of really minimalist. I picked a good one to start, especially for me because
That's so good.
Dwayne Johnson. So
Before we move on, we have just had a surprise guest.
Oh!
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure.
So just so you have kind of a lay of the land, that's your microphone. You
Okay.
don't need to talk into it too much or too close to it. You're totally fine.
Okay.
This webcam is going to be the one that's pointing in your
Okay.
general direction, which you can see in the center channel over here.
Okay.
So you can get
I
an
see
idea
it.
of like how the lay of the land is.
Okay.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Should I say my name?
If
Yes.
you like.
No.
My name is Skippy. No. My name is Christine. I'm also a PhD student here. Should I look at the camera? I've never been on TV before.
You can if you want to. You do not have to.
Okay, I'll tell you.
That's great.
So I'm a PhD student here, and this is my second semester. I'm not in game studies at all.
Oh my.
But I'm in so literature and culture, but I'm actually really interested in material culture and how like we interact with things and how those things make us feel and generate emotions and things like that.
That's fucking good.
So this actually works very well for me in terms of like what I'm interested in, playing games and seeing how the things around us make us feel about things. So I'm secretly here to just cultivate my research.
Well, that's, I mean,
That's
That's why we're
literally
all
what
here.
we're all doing anyways.
I will say that this is like, cause as a movie nerd, this is a piece of material culture that really kind of connects me to film in a way that
Yeah.
hasn't before, and it's really the game is really interesting, and I'll talk about like how we play it, but they are releasing expansions for this, and I bought the first one, which is called the Splat Pack. As you can see, it says here on the card, Splat Pack, which is it's a card pack devoted to cult films of the 70s and 80s, which is like my jam. So sorry, I'm just like shuffling these cards. Here's the gist. There's 5 different ways to play this game. And as you can see, all 5 are on this card, so they're very simple rules. We're gonna start by playing the easiest one, Filmography. Now each card, you'll notice, has an actor, Lawrence Fishburne, and a movie title. Okay. So this one's got Boys in the Hood. And again, this lovely kind of minimalist artwork.
Who that is?
Lawrence Fishburne?
Yeah.
Matrix?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Morpheus, yeah. So, and I'll choose another one here. So Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So what we do with Filmography is one player draws a card from the deck and reads the name of the actor and the film. Taking turns, each subsequent player, and we'll go to the left, but each subsequent player must name another film in which that actor appeared. It can't be the same one on the card. When a player can't name another film or repeats a film that has already been named, the next player will have a chance to knock that player out of the game. So if I said Daniel Day-Lewis and you couldn't think of one, Christine could if she wanted to. Yeah. Okay? And then if you don't think of one, then Dave could try to think of one and knock you out of the game.
Boy, I sense some balance in the way this table is.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about
But there's a lot. I mean, look at the number of cards here. There's a lot of people represented. There may be
That's
things
fair.
that people
'Cause,
know.
Like, I could tell you who Daniel Day-Lewis is conceptually, but I don't think I could name like anything he's done. Ever.
Well, and even like
Hope he's not watching.
Well, I will say this. Even as a movie nerd, you have all this dumb knowledge in your head.
Yeah.
But when it comes time to call on it, it's not always there. And you'll be like, wait, it's that one thing with that, he did that thing. And
with the thing.
Yeah. So
thing. She was in the thing with the thing.
So we continue taking turns until 2 players remain. When one of the remaining 2 players can't name another film, the other player must name a film to win the round. If they can, they win and keep the card, and that's how you would get a card to keep track of things.
Spelling bee rules. All right. All right.
If they can, they win and keep the card. If they can't, neither player gets the card and the round is over. The next player draws a card from the deck to begin a new round. The player with the most cards after as many rounds as you can stand is the winner.
As many rounds as you can stand.
Now,
That's a good amount.
here's the thing. The most strategic way to play is to name more obvious films first and hold on to the more obscure ones for later in the round.
Sure.
Yeah.
For example, you can count on most people remembering Tom Cruise was in Mission Impossible, but how many will remember his Goldmember cameo?
Nah,
Yes.
just now because you told me
Yes.
that.
And eligible films that you can name are narrative films in which the actor appears that have been released. Cameos count, but animated films and voiceover appearances do not. Now, we can alter this rule. We've done this in the past.
Scandalized.
If you would like to include animated films,
I think you should.
we could.
100%.
Yes,
Yeah, those
I
are
think we should.
legitimate.
Yes, I didn't write the rules.
I know, I'm not mad at you. I'm just scandalized.
But here's what I think. We could do animated films, but we can leave out voiceover appearances. So something like the Royal Tenenbaums, you couldn't say that for Alec Baldwin.
Okay, so because that's got an animated sequence that has a voiceover appearance.
No, it's just not him doing narration.
Right.
Yeah.
That I think that works.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, because like in an animated movie, you've got a character associated with your voice.
Agreed.
Right? So
Yes.
it's essentially a costume for all
So
intents and
if
purposes.
everybody
I'm
wants to
100%.
include animated films, I'm fine with
Let's
that.
do it.
We can tweak these rules. And that's another nice thing about this game is on their website, they invite people, and I think it's just cinephile.com if I remember correctly, but they invite people to submit their own permutations for play.
That's cool.
And so I think there's 3 currently up there, including one that's based on the film Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, cool.
And I was thinking that one of these times when we play this, we should try to develop our own.
I think
I
that's
mean,
a great
not today, but like
Yeah,
sometime
sure,
down
sure.
the road.
Yeah, because we're gonna revisit this at some point.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That sounds great.
So I think
before
they're
we start,
shuffled.
they're different. I want to invite chat to. I will be monitoring chat on my phone. I want to invite chat to shout out films and actors, whatever information to basically play along at home, because I think that'll be a really good kind of interesting way to get involved. And of course, we will not think of things that chat will. So throw us a lifeline.
Absolutely.
It'll be fine.
Wait, how am I in there?
Probably Carrie, I would think. I mean, I would assume that
I hope so.
that or you've
I've been hacked.
I stole your phone.
Oh, no.
Okay, shall we clear the playing field a little
Yes.
bit and make some space so that we have this, and then kind of move the cards maybe a little bit forward?
Yes.
Does that kind of
Are
work?
they seen?
When we draw, do we want to show?
Yeah, I
The
think we
cards
should
there.
show what.
So, yes. All right. So everybody ready? This one's gonna be. We're starting off with kind of a tough one.
Oh boy!
All right.
This is gonna
I'm
be fun.
going to leave.
So I'm gonna show it. It's Catherine Keener from Walking and Talking.
All right, Janelle. Name a...
Catherine Keener from Walking and Talking.
So we have to name another film that Catherine Keener has been in.
Yes,
That isn't Walking and Talking.
exactly.
I literally don't know who that is.
I've
Or
never heard
Well, I think
Person
Chris
or
may
the
have
movie.
this round.
I think
pretty
I
sure
do.
you
Yeah.
got it.
So
No.
you can't.
No.
I'm also a complete no on that.
Yeah.
All right. So being John Malkovich.
I don't even know
Cool.
who that
Okay.
is.
I know that film,
Being John Malkovich.
Yeah.
but I have no
I
idea
don't
who
see it.
Catherine
Okay.
Keener is.
She was the bitchy woman that he falls in love with.
Nice.
Oh,
Cool.
Chad has another one, I think. And who?
And Capote. That was
Capote,
another
all
one.
right.
And I was
Oh.
also going to say Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh,
So
really?
Chad-
She plays the
I'm
mom
awarding
in
Chad a
that.
point.
Yeah.
Oh, now
Chat
I
gets
know
a
what she
point.
looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
haven't seen
I'm-
Capote, but I really want to watch
Yeah,
it.
I think she, if I remember correctly, she plays Harper Lee in that.
Oh, okay.
If I remember.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then she's, like I said, she's the mom in Where the Wild Things
Oh,
Are.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
You
3
know
movies.
Robert
I've seen Being John Malkovich, but I haven't seen any
Okay.
of those.
So, do I?
Oh, and
now-
Death to Smoochie.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Don't give us more titles. We want to hold on to
That's
those.
Yes.
true. So then, am I drunk?
Yes.
Is the
Now,
game
no,
over
we're going
'cause
this way.
you
Because
won?
no,
Is the game
I've
over?
Well,
No,
we
we
go
go-
whenever we
now.
want.
we play as
Oh,
many
right,
rounds
right.
as we want, as many rounds as we can stand.
Okay.
All right. So, do we want to do it, or do we want
You
to do a
can't.
different
Yeah, I was
one?
gonna- he just looks like a mustache from there.
I mean, he still looks like just a mustache from there.
He also looks
All right.
like the
Just-
man
that's
in the
good
yellow.
enough.
The
Daniel
funny man with the
Day-Lewis.
yellow hat.
It-
He does kind of look like the man in the yellow hat.
oh man, now I just want to see an adaptation of Curious George where he's
Daniel
like,
Day-Lewis.
I'm gonna drink your milkshake, Curious George.
Curious George is just very traumatized. He's like, I don't like you.
I killed my monkey.
There will be monkey blood.
Oh no.
All right, we have Daniel Day-Lewis, and what's the film?
Okay.
Not Curious George.
Not Curious George. Damn, I wish I could say Curious George. Wasn't he in...
Well, no, you gotta say the title of the movie.
Okay, so Daniel Day-Lewis, There Will Be Blood.
And now Chris.
We go to Chris.
Now
No,
I
yes.
have to guess.
Yeah. So you have to. you get to be at the end
It's
of
like,
the chain.
I can hear the movie voiceover guy in my mouth or in my head going, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, and I'm like, what movie is this? Like, I can't. Was he like? I'm just gonna make. Can I make a random guess? It's just like
Sure.
maybe a movie he was in. It's a very good probably he was in Valentine's Day. Everyone was in Valentine's Day. Was he in that movie?
I don't think he was.
He was in Lincoln, right?
Yes, he was. He was Lincoln.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So
I
was-
saw that. I totally saw
Okay.
that.
I told it, so that's the name of the movie, right? Lincoln?
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
is it Lincoln? Is it the real Lincoln? Is that a book? I don't know.
What is this?
That's a
very book
conspiracy
that I own.
All right, so I said Lincoln.
All right, I'm gonna say the Phantom Thread.
Oh God, you're such a. So then we go to you, Janelle.
Was he in No Country for Old Men?
No, but that came out around the same time and was
And,
very
like,
acclaimed
aesthetically
as
looked the
well.
same.
Yes.
That's a good guess.
All right, Christine.
No, I'm out
Oh,
now,
you're
right?
out.
Yeah.
Well, so I can't let chat rescue me. So, another Daniel Day-Lewis movie.
Let chat rescue you.
There's a million of them, and
Actually, there's not. He's not done
you're
a
right,
whole lot.
You're right.
He like gives the impression that he has.
He's just one of like the most respected actors. So,
Yeah. No, I got nothing.
all right, I'm gonna go out of left field and say "In the Name of the Father,"
Okay.
which was where he plays an Irish revolutionary who gets arrested alongside his father,
I
Pete
think you win
Postlethwaite.
that one. I sense an imbalance in the force.
Yeah.
Was he in Independence Day?
No,
Was he in The Godfather?
no.
Okay, I give up.
He's
I like
My
the
left
lightning
foot
round.
was another
Yeah,
one.
chap said
Chap,
my left
yeah.
foot.
Yes.
I like the lightning round of after the fact, but wait, was he in this?
Well, I mean that's
I
part of
think
the
that
game,
works.
right?
Yeah.
He may, and I'm going to look this up later. He may have been a caller on Frasier. You know the
There's
Dr.
a very
Frasier.
possibility.
He may have been a
Probably.
caller,
I
Yeah.
like
believe
Conan
that.
and I.
But that would
no,
not be an eligible film.
That's not considered a cameo
Yeah.
because
No.
it's like a voiceover. And
Well,
they
it's
don't-
also not a film. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry, I just watch it like one long
Frasier
extended
just
thing.
feels like a movie.
So I thought it was
Watch the whole
yeah.
thing.
I mean, Frasier's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm not discounting.
Oh, is it
Frasier.
my turn?
We are to you.
Okay.
So what do we
Oh
have?
yeah, Gangs of New York.
Nice.
Who didn't
Okay.
follow that?
Okay. So I got
It's a good one.
Denzel Washington. Very
Okay.
cool.
Is it in there?
Great.
Yes.
That's
And you
yeah.
can't really see the movie
And
on
then
there,
what
but
movie is it?
He got game.
All right.
Alright.
Training Day.
Malcolm X.
Django Unchained.
Don't believe he's in that.
That's
I
Jamie
think
Foxx.
That's Jamie Foxx.
That is
Foxx.
Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx. That's a good guess. I would have gone along with that.
He was.
I nearly had
Oh,
it.
Chaps rescued you.
Inside Man.
Oh,
he
there you
was
go.
an Inside Man.
Thank you, Chad.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Denzel Washington movie.
Oops.
I know there are more Denzel Washington movies that I have seen. Was he in Manchurian Candidate?
I
That's
believe
a really
so,
good
yes.
guess. Yes, that is the presidential
Okay.
movie I was trying to think
I
of.
believe so. So you might have to check on this one for me, but I'm going to say
IMDb check.
Virtuosity.
Virtuosity.
Okay.
Denzel Washington.
I'm pretty sure that was
Can you just keep a
Denzel.
seat over there?
Come on over here, Kelsey.
Join
Come
us,
sit with
won't
me.
you?
We can get you in. I mean, actually, we can just deal you into the next round.
Yeah.
Actually- Oh, sorry.
They do
Not trying to create a barrier here.
Okay, so what was it?
Virtuosity.
Yeah, chat says you're right.
Yes!
Carrie
I
says
knew
you're
it! I knew it! Virtuosity. Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe in a really shitty cyber thriller from the 90s.
Ooh.
Jesus. I don't know if I'm smart enough to play this right now.
You'll be
Oh
fine.
no, I'm.
It-
Do you
it's-
see the score? It's 3-0 everyone but Chris.
Oh god.
Well, so where does that pass us back to? Actually,
Well,
I think technically it comes back to Christine.
It doesn't go to.
Yes, because
Oh,
you
'cause
were.
I was already out.
You were already.
Or
out.
wait,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Did she get knocked out?
Yeah, I said.
Yes,
Django
that's right,
Unchained.
yes.
And then
okay.
you said
That's
Inside
right.
Man.
So now you get another
Hold
shot.
on, I'm gonna. This is problematic because I have so many pictures of Denzel Washington in my head, like hanging out with the military, and I'm like, those are just in his real life. Like, what movies has he been in? I don't know. Was he in Independence Day?
No, that was Will Smith.
Always down. Independence Day and Valentine's Day are your fallback
It
answers.
comes to me.
It's been in they're cast heavy movies.
I cannot think of anything else.
Okay.
My brain is just blanking completely. Can you come up with
Yes. Unstoppable.
one
which
All
was
right,
the
Chris.
Yeah.
Tony Scott train movie
Yeah.
with Chris Pine,
All
I
right,
believe.
really quickly before we get anywhere, Kelsey, would you like to introduce yourself to
Hi.
our viewers?
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'm a first year MA in Lineage.
Yeah, welcome. We'll give you the brief run over of how this game works. So we're celebrating the Oscars and like all that kind of celebration. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, we're doing our
Correct.
random.
Great, okay.
Also, we have like got you guys on a Dutch angle now. Like you
Oh
guys
my god,
are
this is so exciting. It's
like
so edgy.
so Battlefield Earth. Though.
Yeah, very Battlefield
so
Earth.
We're
of you.
playing Cinephile, and the game we're playing is Filmography, where what happens is
And this is the easy version.
right, where we will draw a
upset.
card. And we'll draw a card, and whoever's turn it is will draw the card, and they will say, okay, so this is Kiefer Sutherland and the Lost Boys. And now we have to go around in a circle, and people have to name other movies that Kiefer Sutherland has been in. And whoever's the last person to get one is the one who gets the card. As you can see by the score, this has not been going particularly well.
Okay, but this is awful because I only know people by like face.
If you can name a
Yes.
character,
Yeah.
if you can name a character, I would take that. Like that would be fine by me.
Okay.
Also, animated movies count.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you know that
Animated
an
movies
actor it was in it, like that's good enough. So we'll play my round and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah.
So I have Kiefer Sutherland in the Lost Boys. So Chris, what have you got?
What? Oh, we're doing.
We're
I
doing
thought.
Kiefer Sutherland.
I thought
I didn't
Kelsey
realize
was joining
you-
us. So I'm sorry. I didn't
You're
realize
joining
you
us.
started.
We're just gonna. I just didn't want to make it her first turn.
So Kiefer
Yeah.
Sutherland. This is where my mind is blanking. There's the one where it's like mirrors.
Yes.
The shitty horror movie where he's like is in the mirror world,
Yes.
and I can't think of it, and I'm just complete. Oh, Young Guns.
That's
I'm gonna. That's not the one I was thinking of, but I'm gonna go with
all
Young
right,
Guns.
Young Guns. Mel, you got a Kiefer Sutherland movie for us?
It's this one.
Yeah. Yes.
It's that one, and so no, I don't.
I know. Why did they pick the one that's like?
To make it harder for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't ask for this.
I never asked for
I
this.
never asked for this challenge.
I am not
Uh,
okay with this.
Damn, was there ever a 24 TV movie?
That wouldn't have counted either because it had to be a film that was released in theaters.
Was there ever theatrical release?
No.
of a 24
No.
movie.
24,
I
the
don't
theatrical. It's just 2 episodes. It's just 2 episodes back to
I mean, that would be dope.
It's actually not called 24, it's called 235, because that's how
Wow.
the runtime is, so like...
Suffice to say, no, I don't.
Okay, so there's this Kiefer Sutherland movie, and it's got Reese Witherspoon in it, and it's back in the olden days, and he kidnaps her and takes her very far away, and she's a little girl, and she's just like, oh no, and that's what the movie is. I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna guess that it's called Kidnapped? Is that correct?
Somebody want to look at that?
All right, let me check it.
Movie check.
This is real. If you Google Keith or Sutherland and Reese Witherspoon young, you'll find it.
I like how he's Keith or Sutherland.
Keith or Sutherland.
It's Keith
One
or
or the other.
Sutherland.
It was called Freeway.
That was my second
You were
guess.
very
That
close.
was my second guess.
know
'Cause
what?
He kidnaps her on the freeway. That's
I'm
right.
willing to
That
give
was
you that
awful.
one. I don't.
I'm
see
willing to
I mean,
take
that was like
it.
a
All right,
narrative
so
summary.
you're in on Freeway.
You're
It's like if the narrative
I don't have a
summary that
single
you
one.
give
Okay.
is good enough that we can find it.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I think that's a good.
all right.
All right.
This is
So
the easy round.
I am gonna say
You're winning too, so
Disney's
I mean...
The Three Musketeers,
Oh, that's good.
which he is totally
yeah,
in.
that's right.
Oh, that's good.
All right, Chris, hit me with another Kiefer Sutherland movie.
You're gonna have to look at this one and see if it is the one I'm thinking of. Is it Marlboro Man?
Oh yes, I think that.
I
is.
don't know if that's the one that he's in though. That might be Mickey Rourke.
I have one I can also narratively explain, but not as clearly, and I don't know any like accompanying actors in it. But I can tell you what it is if you want. I'm very good at summarizing
Yes.
movies.
Is he in Marlboro Man?
No,
that's the one with
That's the
Mickey
one with Mickey
Rourke.
Rourke.
Okay.
Okay.
Because there's one that I think it's Kiefer Sutherland and somebody else, and they're like cowboys in the city. And I
The
can't remember.
Cowboy Way.
The Cowboy Way. That's what it was.
So that means that
I'm out.
you're out.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
Christine.
Okay, I don't have an answer, and I don't think you should give this to me, but I'm pretty sure that he was in a movie where it was like a bunch of graduate students who were like experimenting with death, and then they killed somebody for just a second,
Yep.
just to see where the angels are, and he was in that movie, but I also don't remember what that was called.
Boy, that should be specific.
That-
I
she's
know what
right.
movie
Guys,
you're talking
she's completely
about.
right.
Can I have it?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Flatliners.
Flatliners.
And I I don't have another movie, so.
There's like this really trippy scene where they're like walking through their death dream. It's very good.
Fun fact, directed by the director of Batman and Robin and Batman Forever.
Joel Schumacher?
Joel Schumacher directed Flatliners. Yep.
That doesn't surprise me.
Joel Schumacher.
So
That was his next big hit after Phantom of the Opera?
fun fact.
Well before Phantom of the Opera.
I thought Flatliners came out.
Flatliners was like 87, 88, maybe
what?
91.
Oh, they did a
in that.
remake, didn't they?
They did a remake, yeah.
Okay, that's why I'm confused.
My parents, when 24 came out, were like, Kiefer Sutherland can play a good guy. Like, they had never heard of that before. And that's when I was very interested in Kiefer Sutherland. They're like, here's all these movies, and that's why I know about these things.
And Julia Roberts was also in Flatliners. Yeah.
That was the other face.
Okay, Chris.
So I guess it's me again, unless
Kelsey, do you want to
like to join
take a
in?
turn?
And
No, you can keep going around.
Okay.
I'll call me back around.
If
Alright.
you come up with a movie for a person, just throw it in there. Why not?
all right, I'm gonna show chat, but it's Jamie Lee Curtis
Okay.
from Halloween.
Ooh, I can do
Yeah.
so many of these. This is
Do you want to join in?
Yeah, play this
Alright.
round. Can you come up with a Jamie Lee Curtis movie, Janelle?
I can go with Jamie Lee Curtis SNL skit.
It's not exactly a movie.
It's not exactly a movie.
Different genres.
She was in that one movie.
Flatliners was 1990.
Okay, so
Okay.
I was close. I said like
Yeah.
in 91-ish.
I guess I hadn't realized that the remake wasn't the new one
Yeah.
because I'm that guy.
Jeez, Dave.
Jeez, Dave.
I feel like that's my refrain for all
This
these
is my
episodes.
thinking face.
Jeez,
It's like-
Dave.
God, Dave.
You give
You
up?
got nothing?
Yeah, I got
All
nothing.
right.
Okay.
Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan.
There you go.
Why did you know you still
Sorry.
Well, you said you could come up with a lot, so.
Well, and then I started thinking about it and I was like, oh, wait, do I actually know that many Jamie Lee Curtis movies or am I literally just thinking only about Freaky Friday because
TV
it's a bop?
shows too.
That movie is a bop.
It's,
Yeah.
it's so good. It's very problematic, but it's
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, now I'm blanking. I was so
And that's
blanking
the
on
problem. I was telling them, even when you have all this dumb knowledge in your head, you blank.
I feel like she was in a movie. Oh no!
She was.
She was just in Knives Out, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Good job.
Nice.
Good one.
Nice.
Fist bump that.
I was like, she has her gray hair in some movie. She's someone's mom.
Halloween 2018.
There you go. I was
Okay,
going to say
that's
that one
it.
too.
Nice.
But A Fish Called Wanda.
Love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Christine. Back to you.
Yeah, so that was all my knowledge, but honorable mention to being the dean in Scream Queens.
Correct.
Oh, there you go.
If this was a TV game,
Oh, I would be
If this could
killing
be just like
it.
different,
They
like
should
all
put a TV
filmography,
version of it.
all filmography.
Yeah.
All right. You're up.
It's like bring it, because that's what I was thinking of. I was like, where is she getting that? Oh yeah, Scream Queens.
Oh no.
I'm going to win a card this time.
Love me some Jamie Lee Curtis.
See, the problem is,
100%
though,
believe that.
Jamie Lee Curtis is like my first ever cinematic crush.
Oh dear.
Damn you.
Or is it the other one that looks just like her? I think.
Yeah.
Because
So we'll
You
see.
guys can work
It's going to be
together, like-
pitted.
describe.
Yeah, if you guys want to all be on teams.
Us against you.
You'll still win, but it'll feel more fair.
I'm gonna get one of these. We're gonna get one. I'm just like seeing every single movie for.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh.
No, please get answers in chat. Please do.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, I can't think of one.
so Kelsey, bring your phone up and tune into our chat and watch chat, and
Yeah,
they
that's
can
your
give you
bad.
answers.
35.
Just find. You have the Twitch
That is
app?
cheating, you know.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't care.
What?
You and I have a handicap. It's fine, especially you. They can all rely on
I
chat.
can't.
That's
See
fine.
if I can
Even.
remember.
You can't even. All right, so I'm gonna say.
Wait, has Kelsey?
Kelsey, are you
No,
back?
I passed.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say True Lies.
The
Oh,
Fog.
that's good.
Ooh.
Halloween H2O.
Fierce Creatures.
Halloween 2.
Trading Places.
Ooh.
He's beating my Halloween knowledge.
You really did like Jamie Lee
Yeah,
Curtis.
I think you've got me whooped on this one. Yeah, I think you've got me
All
whooped
right.
on that one. I think I hit my like 4 Halloween movies that she's in.
Nobody's taking my Jamie Lee away from me.
All right.
Fun fact.
So-
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
She's married to Christopher Guest of Spinal Tap fame.
Nice.
Do you guys know the movie Spinal Tap?
No.
Up to
This is
11.
Spinal Tap? Up to 11, yeah. She's married to that guy because she saw Spinal Tap and thought he was sexy AF.
I think
Nice.
it's you.
Yeah.
Perfect. sounds
Please
about
be
right.
something good. Nope. Anthony Hopkins.
Ooh,
Silence of the
this
Lambs.
guy.
Yes.
Lambs.
Oh
Chat?
yes.
All
Oh
right,
yes.
chat, you can
See,
see
I'm gonna
it.
know all the
I don't think
lowbrow
I've
ones
ever
that no
seen
one
a
wants
movie
to
with
talk
this
Christine, I
about.
think you are first.
I think he was
Can
in
you
this-
hear the lambs?
Oh, apparently, Chris, you needed to give one more Jamie Lee Curtis because I had to pass and then you had to give.
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. I thought you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
It's
too
fine.
late. We're moving on.
You gave
He's
me
out
this
of
one
Jamie Lee
for
Curtis movies.
description,
That's
so
true.
so I don't know. He's got a really recognizable face, but I think he might have been in this movie with a bunch of convicts who were all on a plane together.
Con Air.
Yeah, was he in Con Air? No? Okay, then he just looks like a very murderous one.
All right.
Thor.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well, all right.
if I only had to say a number.
Thor Ragnarok.
I'm gonna go with Hearts in Atlantis. Stephen King adaptation.
Why?
Because he's in it.
All right, Kelsey, it's back to you.
I guess I could just keep being terrible and just go, what is it? The Legend of the Mask? No, the something of the Mask with Antonio Banderas.
You're very
He
close. I'll give you
is-
that one.
The Mask of Zorro?
The Mask of Zorro, that's
what it
the
is.
title of the
That's
movie.
what it is. And then
Oh,
the other one is
yeah.
the second. Yeah,
That's what
okay.
chat said just a second ago.
Legend of Zorro, I think, is the other one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannibal.
The Human Stain.
Thor Darkworld, because he's in that one too.
Red Dragon.
Is he in Thor?
I had one. The world's fastest Indian.
The world's fastest Indian.
I think chat is right about that.
What?
Beowulf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just use Beowulf, Kelsey.
Just say Beowulf.
Beowulf then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's.
All right, another Anthony Hopkins movie. Shadowlands.
Transformers First Night.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Why was he doing this?
Money.
I know.
Have you heard of?
It's not.
That is not the title of the film.
Wouldn't
The title
you
is
do that
Transformers:
movie?
The Last
You
Oh,
wouldn't. You're like,
Last
no,
Night.
you cannot purchase
First
my
Night.
Oh
DVD.
well, but you know what I'm
Yeah, I
talking
know.
about.
I'm just giving you shit.
You've been in us. Oh god. Oh,
fine.
God. Oh please.
Needed a new boat.
I can't think
Anthony
of one.
Hopkins just needed a new boat. That's why he did it.
Yeah.
I wish that these pictures, like Keith Sutherland's is really good. I wish the pictures help me see their
Kelsey,
faces
I'll
a
send you
little
a
better.
link to our.
And not
I'm
just like the
gonna get it
characters.
You
Yeah,
got
I
it?
can see. I can kind of see it, but if I saw like a photo of them, I feel like I'd be able to place them better.
I think that's part of the challenge.
Here,
I
there's a
know
bunch-
it is.
There's a bunch
Oh,
under.
God.
It's just a challenge I didn't ask for.
The
Alright, I
remains
think
of
you're
the
up.
day.
Me?
Oh wait,
Mm.
no. Is it still going?
I think we're still going
Oh,
because
okay.
we're still trying to see if
God,
Chris
what
can
a-
do it while
Remains
while
of the
Chad is
day.
helping Kelsey cheat.
All
I'm out. I can't think of any more.
Oh, what was the other Merchant Ivory that he was in? It was Remains of the Day.
Your partner is in chat, just like blasting chat.
Ooh.
With
I know. She said she wasn't going to be in chat. I don't know why she. But
Because she wants to help other people
guess.
cheat.
So that we can try
what
and
is the
actually
other
see you.
Merchant Ivory one? It's Remains of the Day, and I got nothing.
Red 2.
All right, so
Wait, she has to come up with another
Red
one.
two.
Oh, Red 2. I thought.
boom, Kelsey wins.
There you go.
Thanks for helping me cheat.
Chat. What's the other Merchant Ivory that he was in?
There's like 100 suggestions.
Carrie says she's in chat to bring you down.
Wow.
The lion and
You know, hon, it is your birthday, hon, and I can send your gifts back.
Oh, that is fighting words.
Wow.
All right, so
Very warm in here.
I still have all the receipts.
Oh my god.
he's doubling down on it. Okay, so I think you may have just dug your own grave.
Yeah,
sir.
it seems like
I can
it.
change the locks, she says.
Funny
All right.
thing.
Christine, I think it's you.
Okay.
Wait, is it?
It was Janelle.
Oh, yeah, that's
Anthony
right,
Hopkins,
yes.
and now it's
Yep.
Christine's.
Okay. Emily Blunt from Looper.
Ooh.
You can't see this very good,
No.
but
Well, yeah.
Emily Blunt from Looper.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I'm not versed in Emily Blunt's films, I'm afraid.
I'm gonna say A Quiet Place.
Oh yeah, good one.
Cool.
Oh God, what is that movie? She's been in so many things that I all know what are, but cannot for the movie that
Actually, just watched one today.
Was it the one that you said?
No.
is she in the one
Oh, dude.
that's got Tom Cruise in it? That's the That's the one that's also on a time loop.
I have one for sure. But I think that might go.
Fuck, that might not be her. That might be the other lady. She was in Mary Poppins, wasn't she?
Yep.
Mary
She
Poppins
was.
Returns.
She was.
Okay, I'll take that.
There you go.
I can't.
Good
I
job.
can't say A Quiet Place 2 because it hasn't been released yet.
Got it.
Got any Emily
I
Blunt
have
movies
no
for us?
Emily Blunt movies. I'm afraid. Sorry.
Devil
She's a
Wears
cinematic
Prada,
blind spot.
girl.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes,
A
yes,
bit
yes.
of cheese. I go in, I'm very hungry, and then before I pass out, I eat a small cube of cheese.
That's her line.
Also, don't you have to be somewhere, some hideous skirt convention?
Hideous skirt convention you have to get to. Yes. So
She's
Best-
so fun.
this is a movie that I was
Singers.
pretty sure of, and I see Chad has confirmed, so I'm just gonna say it. It's Edge of Tomorrow.
That was one I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
She is in that movie.
That's a good flick.
That is
Yeah.
a great flick.
I like that movie.
I love the original title so much.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, well, that was the other Emily Blunt one I was gonna do, so that's
Yeah.
great.
What did you watch today?
Devil was...
Oh, okay.
Good call.
It's
For
Ugly
anything.
skirt convention.
Yeah, it was so good.
Cerulean.
that's pretty much.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
I don't think Chat's got anything for us.
No,
Yeah, I think that's the end of.
I'm done.
I think those are the only
Chat.
movies she's ever been in. I hope.
So
All right.
not
who's
watching.
still in this one?
I think Kelsey and I were, and Janelle.
I'm in.
I
Well,
did-
somebody
I did
needs to
Edge
come up
of
with another
Tomorrow.
So
one.
Kelsey, do you not have one?
I do not have
I don't have one. Janelle, do you have one?
Somebody needs to come up with another one if they want the card.
I think I might have an. If you get one wrong, does that like count against you?
Oh.
I think you had the last right.
It was,
one.
but don't I still have to come up with one if no one else can?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have one.
That's where we goofed up, remember?
Oh, right, all right.
I'm gonna take whatever Chat keeps saying. They've said it twice now. The Wolfman. Is that a
Oh.
yes?
I
I
guess.
don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know.
I've never seen
I
it.
don't
sucks.
even know.
You're
Oh,
gonna-
you're so right, and that is such a good movie.
I just remembered one too. Shit. Even though
take
I'm
this
out.
from
okay.
Chat. Take the.
Here,
I'll say
take
this
one
one,
back.
and then I'll use my maybe one if it comes back around to me.
Okay.
So, Adjusted Bureau.
Adjustment Bureau.
Adjustment
So
Bureau. I can
great.
read.
No,
Don't.
I know. God, and no one fucking remembers this movie.
All right, so it's just you two, I think.
Into the Woods. She played Baker's wife.
Is that a movie?
She played Baker's wife.
Then that should
There,
be
there
your
was a movie
entry.
version,
Well,
yeah.
I think.
But I was already
Oh,
out.
okay.
So
I think it's just you two.
say
Into the Woods.
I love playing
Oh,
this
I
with
can
chat.
guess.
This is great.
she was Baker's wife.
I don't know if I like
Yeah.
it so much.
Into the Woods.
I think you still probably. I mean, you're leading the
You
game
were
still.
leading
You'll
by a
probably
long
still beat
shot.
us.
Just no one remembers that fucking movie. It's one of my favorite plays on Broadway, which makes me so sad because that movie's not the greatest.
No, it's not. That's not a good
That is
adaptation.
what I've heard.
Is it better than Cats?
Was it?
Yes. Yes, it's
At
better
least
than
you have
Cats.
that.
The
Yes.
lowest bar.
The lowest of bars.
I've got this image of her in my head that she's in some. I can't think of it, but was she maybe in? She wasn't in Narnia, was she?
No, I know why you're thinking of that, but no, she was
No.
not in Narnia.
There's a movie. I'm going to look it up now that she was in, and it's gonna be one of those movies where it's like, damn. But we can move on.
So
who gets-
Clearly, I
So
did
you
the
have to
I
come
think-
up with
I
one
still
more.
have to come up with
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I know that she was in Sicario, but that's a TV show?
Nope.
No,
No,
that
it's
was
a
a
movie.
movie. That was a
Nice.
movie.
Oh my god, Sicario then!
It's
Very
yours.
I forgot
good.
about her.
All right,
being that.
Kelsey.
What's up?
That is a
you,
harrowing,
Chad.
harrowing movie.
Yes, it really
So
is.
what did we
Jesus.
get, Kelsey?
Kirsten Dunst, Marie
Oh,
Antoinette.
damn.
All right.
Ooh.
Here we go, Kirsten Dunst.
Nice.
I can
Marie Antoinette, very
Yeah.
underrated film, by
Yes.
Very good.
the way. I really like that.
Yeah, underrated's a word for
Hey,
it.
Play Scholar, what's up?
Hot Garbage is another.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that movie. It's terrible. All right. Well, I'm just gonna start off with the big one, Spider-Man.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
Ooh,
Mind.
that's a good one.
That's a
Nice.
very good one.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little Women, the 1994 version.
Yes.
Very good.
Also,
Yeah.
Interview with a Vampire.
Yes, also a good one. Spider-Man 3.
Melancholia.
Stealing my movies, man.
Um.
All right, Janelle, what have you got?
You took my token Spider-Man 3, and I've seen so many movies with her, I'm just blanking. You said a franchise, and I'm like, that's all she's ever done.
I know, I feel that same way.
Oh, that's Drew Barrymore.
I know, right? It's like, that shouldn't be a correlation I'm making, but
Oh, was it Drew Barrymore?
oh my shit, bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring
She
it
was
on.
in the OG.
Oh my
was.
shit.
Oh my shit.
That's my
Was
tag
she
word.
really in Jumanji?
She
1995?
fucking was.
Yes.
Who is that?
Was she in
Was
Jumanji?
she in Jumanji?
She was. She was the little girl in Jumanji.
Oh, wow.
I think.
Oh, I just thought of, because you
Yeah.
said that, of another thing she's in. But I'll take Jumanji 1995 for now and hold on to this
Okay.
one.
I was thinking that what was
We're
it?
doing-
It was one.
wait,
She
no,
I have
is
one
in,
more at least.
She plays
Damn.
opposite like Orlando Bloom, and it's like some dumb kind of indie romance movie. And it's like I don't know. They're like deliriously in love or
Yes,
whatever.
you got
But
it.
I don't know what the fuck.
We're
it's
giving
called.
it to you because
It's like something to do with New England or
Yes.
some weirdness.
It's the movie. It's actually the movie that Nathan Rabin used to coin the term manic pixie dream girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You said it was Orlando Bloom.
Yeah,
Yes.
she plays opposite Orlando Bloom.
Is she an
Elizabeth
adult
Town.
in that one?
Elizabethtown.
Yes.
Is she an adult
Yeah.
in that one?
Yes.
Elizabethtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I've heard
Elizabethtown.
of Elizabethtown.
I
My
got
parents wouldn't let me
nothing.
watch that.
You got nothing? All right, I got one more at least. The Virgin Suicides.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one.
that's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a very. I don't think she's actually in it, but I'm gonna say it because there's a lot of random people in it. Valentine's Day. Well, actually, dude, there's like 14. There's like. Okay,
That's the
there's
second
like,
one.
No
It's
shit.
true. I don't know if they're in it, but there's a lot of people in
Yeah,
it.
there's like a
Who was
million people
in
in it.
Valentine's Day?
She might have been in. Like, have you ever seen that movie? It's not good. I mean, it's
I just
very
like
bad.
how that's like the
It's
thing
so
all
bad.
of a sudden.
I got like rocked
No.
by Valentine's Day, so
No,
now
I
my
don't
brain
think she
isn't
was.
working.
She
Yeah, I
was.
don't
I
see
don't
her
think
in
she
the cast
was.
list.
Damn, there's my chance.
Okay.
Yeah, like a fuck ton of people were in this movie, dude.
Oh. No, that was Meg Ryan. Was she in Anastasia?
No.
The animated Anastasia as a
Like
voice
the-
of the little
You'd
girl.
have to
She
look, I
played
don't
young
know.
Anastasia.
I think she
Because
might
Meg
have.
Ryan played adult Anastasia, and the guy who played Frasier played like the bigger dude who was like the friend with like the con artisty dude.
Yes.
Yes, to all those things. Yeah.
Yes to all those things.
Yeah.
Yes, she was the
Oh,
voice of
good
young
job.
Anastasia.
Oh my
You
God.
nailed
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, don't mess with Christina or Anastasia.
That's
That is
just the-
my
that's
end.
just the
This was
truth.
the other movie that I know she's in, and now I have no more.
like that's some straight OG Don Bluth right there. Like you just
I was really into all of the voices on that because I had the CD when I was a kid and I like studied it. I'm like, who played who and who sings what, and that's why I know Frasier was in it too. Kelsey Grammer. He has a real name. It's Kelsey Grammer.
I think
the Lloyds in that
Chat
movie.
might be right about her being an Anchorman too briefly,
I can't remember.
like as a cameo. Do we do cameos?
Yeah,
We do
cameos.
Do we do cameos? I mean, you can take it.
Okay, sure.
'Cause I'm
Anchorman
not-
too.
I'm not in this here round.
I think that brings us back to you, Chris. Can you come up with another film?
I can, but I can't think of the title, so I don't know if that ruled me
That's
being
fine.
able to describe it.
You
So,
can describe it. If they're reading chat, you can describe
it's
it.
Civil War era film. Colin Farrell. He plays a soldier who is wounded. He goes to this house that's run by a bunch of like there's a bunch of women living there of various ages. I think Haley Steinfeld is in it as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
This is a very
Um,
good description.
Yes, and then there's like he has sex with one of them, and it sets off all these harrowing events, and I cannot remember the title of it.
I remember seeing ads for it a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Chat
what
it's
we're
already
Sophia
mentioned
Sofia
something about
Coppola film.
Yep, I think you're good on that
Yeah.
one.
I'd
Yeah.
say you're good.
But then I think my knowledge might be running out.
Here's a
The Beguiled.
chat
The
suggestion.
Beguiled, yes.
That's the name of
Is that the name of
That was the name of the one he
Yes.
just described.
I was thinking Beloved, but I knew that wasn't
close.
right because that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
seeing the ads for
Something
that.
else.
So
I was conflating her with Scarlett Johansson. I wanted to say the girl with the pearl earring, but I was like, nope, nope, nope. So close.
Yeah.
Nope.
Her and Drew Barrymore are the same in my head, so I'm trying to sort out my. Are you going? Oh, you're out. Oh, okay, so it is my turn. Was she in Riding with Cars with Boys? Riding in Cars with Boys,
don't know.
or was that Drew Barrymore?
I feel like that was Drew Barrymore.
I think it was
I
because
think it
my
was.
other guess was gonna be American Beauty.
That is yeah, that
And I
was
think that's.
that was Drew Barrymore in Riding in Cars with Boys.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in American Beauty, what the hell's her name? She was a child actress. was it Drew Barrymore?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but I don't think it was Drew Barrymore.
Oh.
And it was Mina Suvari was the girl that he like fixates on. I can't remember who played the daughter though.
Yeah.
Is that Thora Birch?
Thora Birch, thank
Yeah.
you.
Fun fact for those of you who have seen Riding in Cars with Boys, I asked my parents what that movie was about once, and they were like, "It's a movie about obeying your parents." So I never watched it because I'm like, well, that sounds really boring.
All right, Kelsey, what do you have for us?
Jesus.
Oh wait, no, because
I think we're
are you still in on this one? Yeah.
No, I'm out. I have
Oh.
nothing.
So I have to come up with something.
Yeah.
If you don't, does it just stay there?
I think so.
So I honestly feel like, especially since we're using chat and like kind of going crazy, that like whoever had the last good one should just get the card
Okay.
instead of having to come up with another one. That seems fair to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Beguiled.
Yeah, I think the Beguiled, you did a good description. That was a good one. I think you had the last good answer. That works
Yeah.
for me. So what do we say?
Yeah.
We play like to first to 5 because that'll put Chris pretty close. He has that
Alright, 5.
That's 5.
Or we could do a different.
Do you want to try a different version of
this
Cinephile?
game.
Let's do that. I think because I'm having fun with this, but I think we've definitely gone around a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
So-
Anthony Hopkins.
So here's what the second easiest one is.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Movie Geek. Or Head On is the
Okay.
title. It's Movie Geek level.
Okay.
The object of the game is to correctly guess more actors or films in 60 seconds than your opponents can. You may play as individuals, pairs, or teams. One player draws a card from the deck. Without looking at it, that player holds the card face out against their forehead.
Oh, no.
Before play begins, the player must decide if they want to guess either the actor or the film on the card.
Okay.
Somebody sets a timer for 60 seconds. The other players shout out clues without using the actor's name or using any words from the film title on the card.
Oh, this should be decently easy. It's kind of like that heads up
yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
it
that.
should
And
be
then
like
if you
okay.
can guess,
If the player guesses correctly, they keep the card, they draw a new one, and they keep guessing until time is up.
okay.
If the player is stumped and
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
pass, they may draw another card but must subtract 1 point from their score. So here's I think how we can track points. If you get one, face up. If you don't, face down. And then the face down ones are all -1.
Okay.
Sound good?
That's good.
And then the player with the highest score after as many rounds as you can stand is the winner.
I love that number.
All right. So I'm going to put Anthony Hopkins down there. I'm just going to do this since we
Yep.
shuffled before, and we have a lot of cards here.
All right, let's do a
Version
practice
is
round.
impossible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to be the head?
Sure.
Sure.
And
Okay.
somebody, I'll set a timer on my clock or on my phone here.
Okay.
Now you have to determine: do you want to guess the
I would like
movie
to
or
try
the
guessing
actor?
the movie, please.
Okay. One
Okay,
second.
no, that was a bad idea.
I mean,
should I go to actor? I should.
1 second
be
while I
actor.
set a timer.
That was a joke answer. I
Oh.
didn't mean it. You
You want
shouldn't
the
have believed
actor.
me.
You
I
want the
wanted
actor.
the actor.
Yellow or white
actor.
Whole
or
time.
green?
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. it
I'm
is
just.
a
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So here we go. 60 seconds. Here's my clue. You're welcome.
He was in the movie that I just watched for class, Southland Tales. Big guy. He was a wrestler, and now he's an actor.
Oh,
Just
Yes,
yep.
he was a wrestler.
Just one.
the Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yes.
Yes.
Now you
All right,
pick another
put that
card.
down. Yo, put it back.
Keep going.
Face up.
Yep.
You got
You
a
get it
point.
face up.
Next one.
Actor.
Ooh.
She was on Desperate Housewives.
She was in the sequel to
so
300.
She was.
No, wait. She wasn't. Or yes, was she?
Yes,
Doesn't
she
matter.
was.
I've never seen it.
She was in that really terrible version of The Spirit.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeez, I can't.
Was she in the next Karate Kid?
I don't.
As the Karate Kid? No.
It was a woman
Without
in
chat
that.
help.
That's why.
It does.
Because
Yes.
it's hard for chat to see the cards.
Oh.
Yeah. No. It's just generally hard to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah, and
yellow
whoever's.
text on white.
If you want to hold it up to that, I won't look.
There we go, chat.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So you got
So
one.
maybe that's what we should do is like whoever draws should like hold it up to chat and then put it up to their head,
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a good idea.
and then chat can help.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
Or if you just keep it in front of chat the whole time.
yeah, everyone
Yeah.
can
Then
look
everybody
at
can
it.
look at the
And then You just
phone.
have to look at this wood and say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just like
Good.
just look at the table.
I was also wrong and thinking of the wrong Ava
I don't know who Eva
Different.
is. For Ava.
for Desperate Housewives.
Mm.
Okay.
Which, I mean, she's got the poofy coat. So.
All right, so we can put those two on the bottom.
Okay. These Dwayne
Yeah,
as
this was
well.
our-
Yeah, that was a practice
Was she in
round.
Hitch?
Oh.
That was a practice
But I
round.
got it. No, I'm kidding.
No, I
She
can't
could be.
remember.
I have no idea.
I can't remember.
So who wants to start for this one?
I
I
will.
will Go. Yeah.
Okay.
Please
All
go
right.
ahead.
I can draw
I
it.
was just gonna sucker.
'Cause you can't-
When you decide,
Alright.
do you have to stick with the same thing? So it's like if I decide actor, all the cards are going to be actor.
I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah, that
but I'm not
sounds-
sure. Wait. Okay. So there's that. And now Dave, since you can't look at it,
I'm just,
And-
I have, yeah.
I'm gonna pass it around
Can
so
I
everybody
give
can
them-
read the
each
movie.
time you
Read the
draw
movie
a
on the
card.
bottom just in case. So.
Yeah.
All right.
For the movie.
So, get ready to start your timer. I'm gonna say actor.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Main character. Oh, sorry.
Go. Okay,
Go.
and go.
Main character in that McDonald's movie.
Founder.
Founder?
Main character in
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Yeah.
my feet.
There you go.
He's also Lilith Sternan's brother from Frasier.
That's true.
This is gonna be too hard showing it to chat and everything.
All right.
So
Yeah.
everybody's
So
gotta be able
I'll
to
just
see it.
hold them up and you guys tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
She was also in oh my god, it's a really sad movie that I can't even describe to you. It's these kids, they grow up and then they realize that they're being harvested for their organs because they're
Oh,
clones. And she's a clone,
Wait, is
and then
that
all of
her?
her friends die. It's her.
No
and
idea. Moving on.
You can move on? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pulp Fiction.
Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah.
Die Hard.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everything that happened after Die Hard.
Actor. Keep going.
Upside down.
Upside down.
Uh,
Ooh.
Boogie
what was
Nights.
Boogie
Yeah.
Nights.
The kids are all right.
Fuck.
Man, she's been in so
she was in
much.
Children of Men.
John.
I can't
think
even
so.
think of it.
All
All
right.
right.
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore.
I just wasn't.
All right.
All right.
So you balanced
I
out.
balanced out. I
Yeah.
got to 0. That's
All
fine.
right.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So I'll just
Oh,
leave them in
I
front of me at 0.
understand. Okay.
And then you can pass and lose a point, but
Yeah. Okay.
would have been better.
That was
for Julianne
Michelle
Moore.
Williams, and
No,
yeah.
it would not have.
Was it Michelle Williams? I thought it was somebody else in the. Because you're thinking of the Forget Right. What the hell is the name of that movie?
It's her, Andrew Garfield, and Keira Knightley.
Yes, but I thought it was somebody other than her.
I think it's Michelle Williams.
I don't. You could be right. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember the title of the movie now either. It was like.
Hold on.
Are you looking it up?
No, I was
Okay.
not.
Hold on, I'm looking. She was in.
I think I'm gonna go with movie titles because I'm better at charades than I am knowing at movies.
What is it?
Sure.
I think I'm going to try the movie title too.
Come on,
but I
Nana.
don't know.
All right, we'll come back to it. Let's jump into Chris's round.
They give a really obscure movie, so.
Yeah. All right. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, go.
That's going. Okay. I don't know if we can all-
Ocean's 11 wife.
Julia Roberts.
Yes.
All right. Oh, I looked at it.
I have that problem too.
All right.
Ooh,
Girl with a dragon tattoo.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said the title of the card. Sorry.
Yeah, that's also what I was.
That's what I meant.
Oh wait, you're doing movie titles.
Yes.
You're doing movie titles.
Can you all see that?
I can't read the yellows,
Oh,
unfortunately.
I don't know that movie.
Yeah.
I
Okay, well, so what? What is the?
So he wants to guess the movie title of
Well,
that
can't we just
film.
charades you the movie title?
Basically.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
As long as
can?
you're not
Okay.
saying any of the words in
Sure,
the title.
Okay, this
so-
color and another word for a village.
Green.
Green.
Green City.
No.
Green
Other one.
Town.
Yeah.
Green.
Think of
Germanic.
Yeah.
Think of Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
You
Green.
said the
Greenberg.
part of it.
Greenberg.
Yeah,
All right.
Greenberg. I'll take it. Whatever.
Really
Spelled differently.
Yeah, it's
Move
like
on.
It's like a suffix.
Okay, you got 2. All right, that's a
Well, if
start.
we're going to do.
So I think
Can I
maybe
say
we need to give ourselves
suffixes?
2 minutes
Sure.
because I feel like we're slow enough at this point
Yeah,
that like
yeah,
I think
yeah.
2 minutes sounds more reasonable.
Let's do that.
All right, Janelle.
This is good though. I like this
Do you want to do
plot.
I'm
actor
gonna
or
because
film?
you
I'm
said
gonna
the
do-
Berg, I'm gonna put that there.
okay.
I only
I'm
go with the
sorry.
Berg.
I didn't
That's
think
all right.
that suffixes. would
Don't worry about it.
count.
I don't know if it does or not.
Grammatical
but-
pieces.
Apologies.
Are you doing actor or?
I am doing film because I
Film.
probably won't know the actor.
Film.
Or the
Oh
so
man, the only clue I know for this one is for kids.
I literally have no idea.
Hula hoop.
I have never seen.
Coen
it.
You
Brothers.
should skip this.
Okay.
Film.
ooh,
I mentioned it before when
mentioned a lot of films.
Yes,
The
but-
first word is
Stars.
a passive verb.
had Catherine Keener in it.
yeah.
R B.
It's a different
Ian.
conjugation of
It
that.
has
yeah.
Catherine Keener in it.
It has
I was
a.
talking
Being
about
John
it before.
Malkovich.
Yeah.
Yes, got it.
I'm like I can't help you anymore.
Ooh.
Okay, so
This is the
I'm
thing
in.
you do on computers.
I'm in.
Typing?
and
I'm in.
the woman
When you're
hacking
like-
a werewolf. The
Hacking
woman,
the mainframe?
But-
yes,
Different
And so
conjugation.
now-
Who does the hacking?
Pluralize it.
Hackers?
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm so glad this is working.
Ooh, really good film.
Deus.
Oscar Isaac and
He does
Deus.
not know it.
Ex Machina?
and
There you go.
Nailed
Donald
it.
Gleason from
Ooh.
It's a street in Los Angeles.
Hollywood?
no.
No.
I think it's in Los Angeles,
It is in
right?
Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
Avenue.
No.
It's a word you're not gonna know.
I'll trust you on that.
Ooh,
Okay.
scary, good movie.
A
It's
thing
Leave.
you do.
It's an imperative command.
Yes.
Nailed it.
That's excellent.
Ooh,
You
yeah.
can shoot somebody with one of
Yes.
these, and
What
it's
kind of
a
gun?
What's the kind of
A
gun?
handgun?
Yes,
No,
what's
but
a
like
type of handgun?
Only hold 6
revolver?
bullets,
Yeah,
but take off.
Now take off the
Revolve.
prefix. No,
No,
just the
revolver.
prefix.
There you go.
Yes. You nailed it.
All
All right.
right.
That was good. That was good. You really got that one.
That was
Shay.
awesome. Now you did lose 2 points, but you did
yeah.
get a lot.
I
So
was wrong. It was not Michelle Williams. It was
It's-
Carrie Mulligan.
thank you, Carrie Mulligan. I couldn't
They
think of her
look
name.
So similar, I can't.
I like the idea. I would like to have a show of some sort that's called Just the Prefix. I don't know what it's about or what we're doing on the show, but it sounds good.
That was a great round. That was a great one.
Thank you,
Good job.
everyone.
So charadesing the movie titles is like a really instead of trying to go my like association. That's a
Yeah.
clever strat. I like that a lot.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Dude, I like that you got my leave though. That was good.
All right. All right.
I'm
Oops.
going to go with actor.
Are you ready? Okay,
Okay.
so actors.
Ooh.
He's very handsome. He was in Dick Tracy. He was in Shampoo.
He's got the first name of a billionaire.
That's-
Oh, is that the movie? I didn't see.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it from here.
Oh,
Sorry.
All right. So
Put it
next
down.
I'm
card.
okay.
sorry.
We weren't gonna
You know that doesn't count as a lost point either. Just put it in
Okay.
this pile.
Put that back
Can I
in here.
change my mind and say titles?
Yes.
Oh, God,
Okay.
yes.
What is it?
Go fast many times.
The faster.
No, put-
So there's
Mount
the word that you're looking for.
South
Mount
Dakota,
blank.
and it's beautiful,
It's full of
and
white
it's full
guys
of
that are-
white
Mount-
guys.
Rushmore.
Yeah.
No, but
But
So
take
Mount
off.
Rushmore.
There
Yes.
you
Okay.
go. Put a face up.
Oh, yep. Okay.
All right. Samurai movie directed by Quentin Tarantino.
lady in a yellow suit.
Wants
Oh,
to.
Kill Bill.
Yep. Kill Bill.
Yes.
Wait, which one?
Oh,
That's good enough.
two.
No, no, no.
Oh.
There's
What's
only
the other
two
one?
choices.
Yeah.
One.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, oh.
All right.
So if you, they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. What is godly? It's
It's
Babu.
2 words. First word is
where do angels live?
Heaven.
And
Okay.
and when you're
They'll
in
make it an
heaven,
adverb.
you're
Heavenly.
there. You
Okay.
go. But there's
no,
more
no,
to
no.
it.
there are things
Kiss,
there.
heavenly angels, heavenly butts. Heavenly.
No. What is
It's another
what
word
is a
for an
monster?
animal or a beast.
Monster.
Heavenly-
No. But a different word for monster. is
Okay.
a-
Devil, angel,
Follow
or
me.
devil,
A,
Satan.
think of the alphabet. A for animal, B for beast. The next one following that might be
C for.
C. It's a synonym for those things that starts with C.
Blank feature. It rhymes with
That's a
feature.
good one.
Starts with a C. Rhymes with feature.
Creature.
Yeah. Put those two
Yes.
words together.
Heavenly creature.
There you
I was
go.
literally about to be like, you know, the bitch from Titanic. What was her first movie?
It's a
All
woman
right.
who has her child
super
is,
short
oh,
hair, and
Yeah.
she's like, oh
And her child got stolen.
no.
No, but
No,
like, what's
no.
another word for a child? Is it's
Rosemary's
a baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, her baby was
different than other babies.
Yes.
That's true. That's very
Does that
true.
one count as a lost point?
Wait, that's
no.
it. No. Okay,
Nope.
so I've got three.
You got 3
Only one.
points.
points.
You
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good job.
Is that your
I
card?
don't know. I can't remember.
That was a card that was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, Kelsey.
Oh God.
Let's do it.
Oh Lordy.
Are you doing titles or actors? Actors.
Probably titles.
Titles are easier to kind of mime out.
All right, here we go. Oh, this one's tough. You're
Should I
going for
skip?
titles?
Can I see it?
Oh, Steinem, first name.
Gloria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good job.
Boom! Nailed it.
Nice.
I really
Heck
like
yeah,
titles.
ladies. I can't see the movie. Oh, okay. So, when you're not.
How about where the blank things are?
Where the
Yeah,
wild
there you
things
go.
are?
Now,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what's the
now,
word?
2 words.
Wild? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Wild
wild you
is
got.
word.
Now there's the first word to
Okay,
this.
so this word is kind of a word that we use when we don't know what else word to use.
Go get
It's
me.
broad. Yeah, go get me.
And I don't know what to call it, so I need.
And we're not
I
using it
can't
right
think of
now
the word.
because we can't say
Yes.
it,
Oh, no.
and that's why it's hard.
The-
Okay, so
I need blank, and I don't know what to call it, so I'm going to use this abstract compound
It?
word.
no, it's a compound word. It's a longish word.
Oh, no.
Starts with an S.
It's very common.
Something.
Yes.
Yes.
There you
Yes.
go.
There you go.
Thank you for
Got it.
giving the most obvious clue.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
What? Oh God.
Okay, so if you're meeting someone and they're super late, and then they finally call you, and you're like, "Well,
Nice
you're
try.
good.
Yeah.
What might you say in response?
If they're like, "Did you
Are you?
leave?"
Are you
they
still?
might
Are you
come
there?
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Ooh. If you get something like when I get a tattoo. When I get,
No.
something
When I
really
get a
bothers
tattoo,
you.
where
What
does
is
the ink
this?
go?
What is this?
Under the skin?
There you go.
Nice, nice.
Oh, it's
Oh, this is a great movie.
a big place.
It's a Wes Anderson
to
film.
stay. It's a Wes Anderson film. It's a
a
big
little
place
hard
to
to
stay.
watch.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was in the title.
No.
No.
Hotel.
It's
in
very
another place.
It's very fancy.
Budapest showed
Yes, but there's more to it. What's the fancy
the
part?
Grand Budapest.
There you go.
Yeah.
More time.
She got one
One
second.
second.
Oh!
Got that last one.
That was very good.
That was a
So-
great round.
Nice. That was very good.
Yes, chat. We totally do have a little bit of camera shake. We're just bumping the table.
Yeah.
So we're getting
Too excited.
It's a very physical game.
Yes.
There's leaping. There's
Dude, good
I
round.
drank
the
so
table
much.
cam is
Like
here,
I drank so much
everyone.
caffeine this morning.
It's
too. I'm like,
happening. We're just gonna kind of try to get into it. All right. You guys ready to be impressed by how badly I can do?
Oh, yeah.
No.
No, let's go.
We can
Yeah.
do this.
All right.
So, like,
Wait, I gotta
okay,
start the timer.
Be sure that the card is kind of like out so that it, because the
Yes,
title's
the title's
very
best.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to
Yeah.
start with actor a little
Oh,
bit,
okay,
just kind of see
okay.
where we can go.
Okay.
So, all right,
Ready?
let's go.
Let's do it.
She was just on the Super Bowl halftime.
Yeah.
J-Lo.
Yes.
All right.
She fights extraterrestrial creatures.
She's also in
that's
Avatar.
Her last name
Zoe
is
Saldana.
No, her name is
Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just gonna give all the lowbrow.
She likes dinosaurs.
She just
Yes.
crashed. She just
Laura
fast
Linney.
forward. No.
first
She
word.
light
God,
speeded
what is
through
her-
a fucking
Yeah, what is her?
thing.
Laura Dern.
Thank
Right.
you.
Nice.
I'm just
gonna keep saying
Uncut Gems.
Ooh,
Oh my
but
God.
also
Very
Big Daddy,
funny.
but also like
He does the vampire on SNL. and
Yeah.
He's a dad
Opera
now.
Man.
Opera Man.
He was in
I
50
can't.
First
I know
Dates.
exactly who you're talking about.
Stand-up
He's
comedian.
got a very
Happy
basic
Madison.
first name.
Adam Sandler.
Yes.
God, I was just blanking on the name.
He was also in a Star Wars recently.
Yeah, he was also he was CJ in the last. And
God.
also he is the dude from Marvel, the collector.
Yes.
No,
Banderas.
is he the- yes, the
No.
No, not Banderas. God, I know his name.
But
you can think of
it
a
starts with a
director-
B.
There's his middle name with a taco place.
Yes, he does.
He sounds like he shares a name with a director named Guillermo.
Yes.
Yes.
Benicio del Toro.
There you go.
Thank you.
I was like, how can I
Thank you. That was helpful.
She's
my God,
probably the most
She's
acclaimed
Devil Wears
actress.
Prada, she's Kramer
Judy
versus
Dench.
Kramer.
American actress.
Julie and
Sophie's
Julia?
Choice.
No, that's
Yes.
the one. That's the one
No,
on the card.
Oh, it is? Oh.
No,
Oh,
Devil
yeah.
Wears
I
Prada,
can't
Kramer
see
versus
those.
Kramer.
I literally can't.
I know again.
Julie and Julia.
She's a queen.
Yes.
She was the aunt in Little Women.
What
She
is
would
her
like you to
name?
ask cerulean.
I need
is important.
I need help on the name.
Okay, so if I have a bunch of stuff, I'll put it in a. Oh, I can just
So
say this.
when you have a sore
with
throat,
barrel.
you might have.
Her name rhymes with barrel.
Oh fuck! I'm just.
Beryl
Feet.
Street.
Meryl Streep. Why did I fucking think that?
Meryl
I was trying to get you to say strep.
Yeah, I
Then
know.
that would get you to say street.
I know. Whatever. I'll take that. That was fine.
Yeah. If I have too much wine in my house, I'll put it all in a barrel and take it out on
All
the
right.
street.
Do we want to do like one more round?
Or do we
this?
want to do
Yeah.
double feature? We want to do one more round of
I think
this?
we have plenty. We have an hour. We have like 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one more.
I mean, double
we're
feature
fit-
is
yeah.
a little bit of a different game, but
All right,
this is
so let's
kinda,
do one more.
Let's
All
do
right.
one more round of this.
So
I gotta
I.
go get a snack though eventually because I'm starving.
Yeah, well,
past that
trust me, me
four.
too. Yeah, I haven't eaten since 7 a.m.
Come
So,
on, Kelsey. I'm just gonna like
Yeah.
so
just
Oh, yeah.
camera here, so we're not.
I'm gonna go with actor.
All right,
Ooh,
actor.
okay,
Let's see if we
okay.
can do
Everybody
it.
ready?
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Famous character actor was in Speed.
Is that on the card?
No, it's not on the card.
Dennis Hopper?
Yes.
All right.
Ooh.
Lady Bird, director.
She also just directed Little Women.
Greta Gerwig?
Yes. Very good.
She's very nice.
He's in our favorite board game.
He's also
Kurt Russell?
Yes. Yes. I'm so glad that worked.
That's really cute. That's cute.
In the Lighthouse.
He's also in
Willem Dafoe?
Antichrist.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Antichrist, yes.
Yep.
We must be hitting the cult ones.
Has really white teeth in
Super bad.
Yes.
He lost a lot of weight.
Jonah Hill.
Yes.
Let's see.
Ooh, I don't know this one.
Shares the first name with a famous talk show host who is gay and white. Who's a woman.
Who's a woman? Oh, so Ellen.
Yeah.
And then her last name.
Ellen Burstyn?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
He knows things. You give him part of it.
She's also in A Devil Wears Prada.
Anne Hathaway.
Yes.
Yes. Is that
Yes. That was Anne Hathaway.
He's in The Matrix. He's in John
Lawrence
Wick.
Fishburne?
He has
No.
the same
Keanu
face.
Reeves.
Yes. Same face, same emotion.
Yep.
Titanic, Inception.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
That is such a throwback.
Getting that.
Just Chris just goes all the way down.
He was Saruman in Lord
Count
of the Rings.
Dooku.
Christopher Lee.
Yes.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
She's everybody's favorite MILF.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
In Labyrinth.
Oh, Jennifer Connelly?
Yes.
Yes. Where my crush on her started, actually. I looked at that one, sorry.
So great.
Upside down.
He's killed by the Terminator, by the Predator, and by
Bill
the
Paxton.
Yes. Oh God.
It's amazing. I'm as proud of us as I am of him.
This is really a collective
Everybody's
knowledge
favorite
game.
movie.
Like you could know, like I would be. You probably know every movie in person in here, but you're relying on us to explain that to you.
You guys did a great job. I was very
You
proud
got
of you
what,
all.
like 14 that round?
13.
Yeah, that was amazing.
No, 12, because I already had Julia Roberts.
Jesus. Good. All right, Janelle, we can do this. I believe in you.
I will say, Labyrinth, that's where my crush on Jennifer Connelly
get you.
started, because I was around the same age.
But it was
Just
so
because, like, because everyone at the table can see who it is.
That's fair, but I don't know these people's names.
Yeah, that's fair too. I also don't know their names.
We can try to get you there, though.
Yeah.
just by faces.
Yeah, like
If you can tell us the name of the character in the movie that we're talking about, if we don't say the character name, maybe that.
Yeah, that's good.
We can try it.
What do you?
I think you guys have more faith in me than I do. But
All right,
Okay.
what are we doing?
No, we
Actors
can
or
do
So
movies?
we're doing what?
Actors? Is
Oh,
that it?
actors.
All right.
Okay.
So she's on Saturday
She's
Night
your
Live,
favorite person on
Bridesmaids.
SNL.
Tina Fey,
No,
Amy Poehler.
no.
Bridesmaids.
What do you wear when you don't have hair?
A wig. Kristen Wiig.
Yes.
Yes. It's okay.
Oh, he was Hook in Hook.
When you need to clean your house and everything's dirty, first you start by
Wipe?
No,
Wiping?
it's
Dusting?
a human's name.
Yeah.
Yes.
It sounds like
Yes.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a bad
Person I know.
I couldn't see it.
He was Dragon in.
Oh, he's
He was also on
funny.
SNL
John
back in the day.
Shrek.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can do this.
SNL knowledge will work.
can't see it. You gotta
She
give it
was
to me.
Padme Amidala.
She raps.
Oh, Natalie Portman.
Yes.
Yes.
She raps.
She's Thor.
She raps.
Yeah. So
She was in Blonde. She was
She was in Atomic
most
Blonde.
recently,
I'm sorry.
Blonde Bombshell.
She's in Mad Max.
She's
Fury
South
Road.
African.
She said the thing.
Did I say?
I don't
Oh,
think
I'm
you
sorry.
know
I said
who
the, I
this
said the
is.
name
That's
of the
fine.
movie.
I
That's
wasn't
my
gonna
bad.
get it.
Well, you got to pass that one, so that's going in this
Okay.
pile.
He's an Ocean's 11 main guy.
He's very
curious.
handsome.
I
He
know.
dates
great
women.
when he
He
talks-
yellow hair.
all right, when he talks, he does
married.
this
He
a lot.
shares the name of a
Successful wife.
monkey. He shares
Yeah,
the name
he
of a
shares the
monkey we
name
talked
of the
about
monkey.
earlier.
George. George.
Okay.
And then his last
and now,
name
when
is.
you want a double of someone,
His mom's name is Rosemary.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't.
His last
He's
name
married to a very
starts with the
successful
third letter
lawyer.
of the alphabet
Okay.
Yeah.
and ends with
What's a synonym for crazy?
Starting with an
Blank
Something
tunes.
tunes.
Something to Looney Tunes.
And so what rhymes with Looney?
Greg.
Start-
George Clooney.
No, that's so embarrassing. It really is. Just so you know, you should be embarrassed.
All right.
She was in Speed.
no,
Oh wait, no.
no,
it's-
no, no,
Damn it!
no,
Sorry.
That's fine.
Damn you,
Put it down.
Chris.
Yeah,
Okay.
there
Damn
you
you,
go.
Chris.
Damn, I had
Sorry.
such a good clue.
That's okay.
Oh, she was in Riding in Cars with Boys.
We were
Yes,
just
very
talking.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Score.
All right, we can do one more.
Ooh, Ladybird. Ladybird.
I
And
saw
you
Lady Bird.
know
Her name. She was Jo in Little Women.
you're right.
Saoirse
You got it.
Yeah, I'll let
Give
you.
it to you.
That's good enough.
Saoirse Ronan.
Let me see if I can get her to get this one.
Okay.
We just watched a weird Disney movie where her boyfriend, who isn't her boyfriend, gets hit by a train and is in a coma, and then she falls in love with the boyfriend's brother. Who am I talking about?
What was it? We did just
It
watch
was called While You Were Sleeping.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Sandra Bullock.
Damn.
That was good. That was good.
That's a good round.
All right.
Go team.
I believe in you.
Yes,
Okay, I'm
this
gonna
is
do
a team
people.
effort,
Oh,
and
God,
it's very
yes.
We
good.
can do this.
I just looked at that.
What are we doing? Are we doing actors?
We're gonna do actors. Okay.
Ooh, he has crazy
Oh, I gotta start
eyes.
timer.
I'm really, really sorry, but he has crazy eyes. He plays
He
a lot of
does.
He's in a
crazy
ton of
people.
stuff.
They're kind of
Um,
buggy. He was in.
He's in Big Lebowski.
All right.
Mad Scientist.
His first name is a common male name that begins
see this?
with
From
the-
Stranger Things, the hair.
the
well,
character
the
with
character.
the hair.
The character.
What is his name?
What is his just his name?
All I can think of is Sam Malone, and that's not correct.
Same starts with the same letter. What are other
Blaine
F
Seth?
names?
Blaine
Seth?
Harrington.
Nope.
I know. All I can think of is that. Okay.
Rhymes with leave.
Yeah, it does.
And starts with
Yeah, starts with an S and rhymes with leave.
Steve Harrington.
Yeah,
Steve.
so that's
No,
his first
that's-
name.
Yeah.
His
name.
last
And he's
name
in
starts with the
everything.
second letter of the alphabet.
I don't know if you saw Boardwalk Empire.
Oh crap! Yes.
The buggy eyes.
Yes, I know
With the
exactly what
eyes.
you're talking about. He's in that weird
He's
utopian
like he actually
movie.
looked
Yes,
really,
he
really
is.
hot when he was young too, which is kind
Yeah.
of disconcerting.
If you know,
He was
if
a
you can't
firefighter?
make it, I don't know how we're gonna rhyme that, so you might as well.
I'm
Yeah.
so sad because I know
It's okay.
exactly who
This
it
one.
is, and I
This
can't.
pile.
I have his picture in my face.
Ooh,
All right.
Notebook?
Also,
She was in
Mean
Time Traveler's
Mean
Girls.
Girls.
Time Traveler's Wife.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Yep. What else?
Can you walk me through her name? Because I
All
have
right. Her first name starts with yeah. We can say
with
that.
an
Okay.
R.
So her first name starts with an R.
Okay.
And then her last name is
It's close to.
Her last name is a
It's
president's
close
last
to
name.
Satchel.
It starts with an R.
Yes.
And her last name has a,
No, and the last name is a president's last name.
but has a prefix
But has
in
a
front of it.
prefix. Some might say an Irish-esque
Or a
prefix.
prefix
I'm
that's the
so
same
annoyed
as the
because I
Golden
have her
Arches.
picture in my head.
Yes.
And she's
Yes,
got a mole.
that's
What is
a
the
big
name
one.
of the restaurant that's the Golden Arches?
McDonald's. Mick.
Mick.
No,
And then
The Notebook.
I know.
Yes.
Oh, I know
Name.
exactly who
Yeah.
it is. I just don't know. Mick Adams. Amy
Yeah,
McAdams.
no,
the other one.
yeah,
No,
correct
no,
last
no.
name.
McAdams.
Starts with an
Okay.
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams.
Damn. I'm so sad and angry.
That one can go in this pile because you didn't
Steve-
pass it.
Okay, so I reference this guy pretty much every day of my life, and every day
God,
I
look
have
down on
to.
us and fear what he has created. Oh God, what the fuck was Spy Kids 2 trying to do?
This makes me so sad. Okay,
Yes.
I'm a failure. Nope, this
No,
is
you're
against
not.
me. Yeah. Okay. Next person.
Okay. All right, Kelsey. We
Oh,
can do
God.
this. Are you doing
Okay,
actor
actress.
or movie? All right, actor. All right.
She was married to Tom Cruise.
She's in.
Another
I
word
almost
for a
said the movie.
child.
She's in
Kidman,
Batman.
Nicole Kidman.
Yep.
Yes. Very good. The only thing worse than a rapist.
A child.
A dead person's headstone colored like a strawberry.
Pink gravestone, grave marker.
What color? Colored like an
headstone.
apple.
Red, cherry,
So, red.
stone, red,
Plus the name
Headstone.
for
Where
a
they're
tombstone.
buried.
red.
Where is somebody buried?
Red.
Where do you bury
Where do you,
people?
what do you put their body in?
Yeah, what do you put their body
dig?
in?
A hole?
What do you
Red hole.
dig?
What's the other
What is
word
the
for
thing that you're digging to put them in? You're out there, you're digging something.
Either skip it or.
What is it?
Okay. All right. His name starts.
So color of an apple, oh,
Yeah, but actually.
a brand of car.
Yes, and then put those two things together for a last name.
A brand of American car.
They were made in
Ford.
Detroit.
Redford.
Yes.
Redford.
Redford. His first name could be shortened to Bob.
Robert. Redford.
Yeah.
Yes.
Redford.
There you go.
That was really good. Yeah.
She's in Stranger Things.
She's also Joe in the
fucking
19...
Winona Ryder.
Yes.
Yeah. How is Little Women like the most popular movie
It just
ever?
is. Oh, Matrix.
Oh, Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Said we were already here.
Or he's in Ghostbusters.
He's super popular.
Yes.
Everybody loves him.
He goes
Bill
to-
Murray.
He's in,
Yes.
Yeah.
He shows up at people's parties and steals their fries.
Yeah.
True, he does.
Sirius Black.
Fucking Gary Oldman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, The Office.
40-year-old version.
Steve Carell.
Yes. Very good.
God, I'm gonna have a seizure. Jesus Christ.
He's in the X-Men.
Oh my god, that movie's so
X-Men.
good.
He's also in Split.
No,
That's on the card. That's on the card.
Oh, is that on
That's on the card.
Oh,
You can't.
God,
Yeah, I have to throw that one out.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it. It's hard to
No,
see.
throw it
That's
out
all right.
I know.
That goes here. You didn't.
The
lose
yellow
one,
on
so-
the white.
Why did they do yellow on white?
Yeah, it's
I know.
really
So-
difficult to
All right.
see.
That is my one critique.
As a person who
Visibility
has
wise.
dyslexia, it's very hard to
I'm
read.
with you.
Yeah, I'm
The
like,
font isn't great. All right.
Sorry.
No,
I mean,
you didn't
You
design
didn't
it.
design it.
We'll send them feedback. All
That
right.
was the
Very
one I
good.
fucking missed.
Vanessa Redgrave.
Vanessa Redgrave.
I'm never gonna
Grave.
get
You
that.
brave.
Grave.
You put
Grave.
You were going so like around it. You're just like.
well,
"Ah!"
yes.
No, I'm like,
Technically what it is.
I think I'm gonna do actor again.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna
This
go
seems
for
to be
it.
the most fun.
All right.
yes.
Go.
I'm here. Yes.
I'm
On the planet
California.
Oh my god.
She looks like Natalie Portman,
Pirates-
like
Pirates of the
identically.
Caribbean.
God, I know exactly
She's
who
in
it
Pirates
is.
of the Caribbean.
Um,
Her
The
first
Nickel
name
News
starts with the
referred
same
to
thing
as
my
the
first name
sexiest
starts
tomboy
with.
beanpole on the
Yes.
planet.
My name's Christine Koyama. She has the same initials.
Yes.
Oh no, you're going to Google me now. I shouldn't.
God damn it! Why can I not remember her name? Oh, I'm so bad at this.
Okay.
So-
In medieval times, if you had a sword and you were blessed by a king, you were a.
Knight.
Yeah.
Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
That was
Thank you. That was excellent.
She played a confident lesbian in this movie that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
She seduces
Yes, she
a young
did.
girl, and
The
she.
movie Carol.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's also in The Life Aquatic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's in Lord of the
Last name is
Rings.
like
She's
something you
the
can do to an
She's Galadriel.
Galadriel.
Yes,
What
and
is
she's
her
also
name?
Queen Elizabeth in the Elizabethan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her first name
Kate.
is a yes.
Her name-
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
What can you
And
do to
then,
an almond?
if you
So
yes, or
last
an
name.
egg.
Last name.
Blanchett.
Yes.
Yes.
I got that. I'm good. I'm okay.
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't have
So
gotten
she
that.
was in. She's in It Chapter 2. She's in.
Buxom, redheaded, beautiful.
Yes.
Yes.
I know exactly what
Crimson
you're
Peak.
Mad-
She directed an episode of The
Oh, no, that's the
Mandalorian.
one on the card.
Oh damn it! I said it. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was getting too excited. Ooh, she's 70s blaxploitation
Yeah, nice.
icon.
Yes.
She
Foxy Cleopatra.
there's a
But yes, but
Who?
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know.
when
I
you
don't
want
know.
to grease your pans to cook with, you use this kind of spray, and it's very popular brand.
Pam.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's her first
Last
name.
And then
Okay.
last name, when. Ooh.
I don't know how we're gonna get that
No
one.
idea. I'll just skip it.
Oh my
It's
god,
fine.
rhymes with Trier.
Yeah.
Oh, Pam Grier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I was like,
all
we
right.
just
I could have.
Southland Tales.
All right, hit me.
Damn.
That one I don't know how to. I don't know how to describe this one.
All right, I'll just let it
French
go.
actress.
I don't know.
Okay, so I want to see actors play this game.
Yes.
Me!
That
It's me!
1, 2, 3,
Who am I?
4, 5, 6,
All right.
7, 8, 9,
Let's
10,
count 'em up.
11.
All right.
Oh, I got 12. So
1, 2, 3, 4,
3.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I also have
10,
twelve.
11,
And then you
12
lose.
minus
And then
one.
and then I
2.
lose.
11.
3.
I had 2 if you count my.
So
negative
I think Chris won,
Oh.
Yes.
but it wasn't
That's
nearly as
super
close.
close.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
That
It was
That
super
was-
close.
Yeah, I had 11.
All right, when we play a round of double
'Cause-
feature.
yes.
Yeah, let's
I
do
think we
it.
have some time
So-
for that.
Did you guys like
This is
Cinephile?
yes.
Really, really good.
I love
like
this
a lot.
game.
As
There
soon as
are-
I-
It's really fun.
as soon
There
as
are
I
still-
actually woke up from like driving here, I was like, yeah, I can do this.
There's still 3 other ways to play,
Oh, that's exciting.
and the versions that people have uploaded to their website. So
Love
So
the
while
idea
we're
of
setting up
making
double
your own.
feature, I
I
just
think
want
it would be
read,
fun sometime maybe to do a month of
I agree.
Yeah.
for sure.
I just want to read the hardest rules for this while we're setting up.
which
double
I have
feature.
not played yet.
Okay, so
I've
this is
still only done these
6
2.
degrees. The object of this game is to connect 2 actors through films in which they've appeared. Players must connect 2 actors in 6 movies or less, but the lower number of degrees is better. For example, Joaquin Phoenix and Winona Ryder. Phoenix was in The Village with Sigourney Weaver, and Sigourney Weaver and Winona Ryder were in Alien Resurrection together.
Okay.
So that's 2
Oh my
links.
God.
God.
Can they be in the
same
movie and that's the connection?
Probably.
Yes, if they're in the
So
same
then-
movie, that's 1 degree.
Oh,
So
okay.
that would be easy to do. So that is the hardest version.
Can I have like 3 IMDb searches?
So double feature is
A very different kind.
very different, but
no.
it's still in the same vein. In that, we're still guessing movies. But now you'll notice we have these different card stacks, and if everybody wants to maybe grab one of these and shuffle, and you'll notice there's characters, scenes, setting. This one is theme and genre.
And that
I forget
one's
what the red one
props.
is, and props.
Cool.
So what we do is you lay all of these cards down. You flip 2 over from any category. And then everybody has to try to shout out a movie that fits both of those categories. So, for
Ooh.
instance, if you get like a genre card that says science fiction.
Why don't we just flip 2 random cards just to
Well,
see?
I was going to give a good example
Okay,
that I
that's
think
fine.
has a good. But like, let's say you flip one that says science fiction, then you flip one that says time travel. What would be a movie that you could use for that?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Terminator.
You know, these are all like you would have to.
Would you consider Looper Science Fiction?
Oh, yeah.
Minority Report, maybe.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, everybody shouts out at the same time, and then the director, who is the person who flips the cards over, decides which is like who gets the
It
card.
decides which one they like best.
Yeah, which one they like
So
best.
it isn't about doing it as fast.
And so if you win it,
I'm sorry, I'm a clumsy shuffler.
No, you're totally good.
so when you win a round, like, let's say I put a character card down first and then a theme and genre card. Whoever wins that round would get the character card. It's the card that's been on the table the longest. Okay?
Did you shuffle this pack down?
Yes.
And so if nobody can guess a film, we flip a third card over. And then you have to match any 2 of the cards that are on the table.
Okay. I don't know. We've only ever had that happen a few times. So
So, yeah, that's... And since there are 5 of us, we have to earn 9 points to win.
okay.
Okay.
So we'll probably just play
until we're done.
quarter till.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that
Now, here's a couple of caveats.
Okay.
Here's what is allowed. Any movie released commercially in theaters, including but not limited to feature films, foreign films, animated films, and documentaries.
Oh, cool.
Not allowed. Made for TV movies and movies that have gone straight to video, such as Sharknado. Television shows, series, and miniseries are not allowed. The same movie cannot win points twice in a row,
Okay.
though it may win points at another time in a game. So, like, if we are going around, like, if somebody says Back to the Future, you couldn't say Back to the Future,
Right.
but we could do it later on in the
I
game.
could maybe do it next or whatever.
Yes. Then, the same movie franchise cannot win 2 rounds in a row. So if somebody wins with Lord of the Rings, we have to go around 2 more rounds before somebody else can say, like, Return of the King
Right.
or, Two Towers.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah. And you have to get the titles correct. So if you say Taxi, that is not acceptable for Taxi Driver.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay? So that's how that all works.
All right. Who wants to start?
Do you want the chairman to start? Or do
Yeah,
you
Well, you
want,
won both
Chairman.
games, so why don't you start?
Yeah.
Now, here are just a couple things. The director must award points to the first player that calls out the name of a movie linking the cards in play. A point should be awarded even if the director has not seen a particular movie. The director must believe or be convinced that the movie does include an element from each of the 2 cards.
Oh.
And if a player disagrees with a decision, they may challenge the director using any reference material at hand, smartphone searches, for example. The director can then reverse their decision based on new information. Okay?
Okay.
So, let's see. I'm going to go with characters. So, a character has to be barefoot or pregnant. That's a good start, I guess.
Okay. Barefoot or pregnant?
And then it has to be in a Western or war movie. Those are the 2 things that y'all need to link. Barefoot
can I give you
or
one,
pregnant?
or-
Yes.
Yeah, just shout one out.
So
Just
Saving
shout 'em
Private
out.
Ryan, they were definitely barefooted in that at one point.
Were they?
Yes.
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, because there's the scene where they're changing their socks.
Oh, that's
and
right.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
100%.
All right.
Damn.
I think that's good. So
I was
you
gonna
take
say, you get that card 'cause
you
you
take
were
the
the first
barefoot or
one.
pregnant card,
Yep.
Okay.
and then
So that's,
Janelle,
you have a point.
and then
Okay.
Janelle flips over a card that we match with Western or War
That
movie.
is not
That is
the
not.
same as this one.
Yeah, so
it has
any,
to be different
any
than
one
this
of
one.
the, of the other categories.
Let's try production.
So a Western or War
Released
movie
in
that
the
was
1980s or
Unforgiven.
I'm
A
not
bridge
gonna
too far.
Check you.
Unforgiven. That was the first one.
Yeah, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
So then now Christine flips
We'll go to
one.
Christine. Now you flip one. So a movie that was released in the 80s or 90s.
Oh,
So that's a lot of movies.
I'm gonna choose this one. So
Alright,
buy on, or should I just put it
Waterworld.
over here?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Buy on or
You were too fast for me.
Water.
Waterworld.
I was going to say Leviathan, but that's me.
Rhode Island. Hey,
Was it
There you
really
go.
just the first person to say
So,
one?
Yes,
the rules of
basically.
the first person to say one, we have typically gone to more of a
Egalitarian.
like Cards Against Humanity system where everybody kind of
Kinda
gives
says
one,
like,
and
oh,
whoever
that's
the judge
good.
is like
Yeah, I
picks
do
one.
like that.
Do you want to do that instead?
We
yeah,
could.
I mean,
Okay, let's do that. We'll
Yeah.
just do that starting on Kelsey's round. So Kelsey, by, on, or underwater, and then
That's
you pick the thing to flip.
so now you have to pick one that's not a yellow one.
Okay. Yeah, you can keep it with yellow.
Oh, okay.
Just for...
I was trying to put them.
Are they can
Yeah,
I see?
they're visible.
Okay.
It's fine.
Let's see here.
Hot
Psycho.
time machine.
Yeah.
Is that
Psycho.
by water?
There's water involved. She's under. she's got the water coming on her.
It's pretty good.
And that's why you have to kind of make your justification. I think that makes it more interesting if everybody has a chance to
Okay.
like.
Okay.
I mean,
so,
like Hot Tub Time Machine, a lot of it
And
is
she's
spent
by
on
water.
Yeah, Hot Tub
But,
Time
like,
Machine is a good one.
I
Psycho
do-
is perfect.
Yeah.
I would like to throw in The Little Mermaid, which is on, under, and by water.
Is
And
there a
she's-
shower?
She's
in a
also
bathtub.
in
Yeah, there's a
bathtub.
bathtub.
she
The
is.
bathtub
The
on the
bathtub
ship.
scene when
Yeah.
she's like holding a bubble.
Yeah,
See,
that's
then you get to
really
pick the one you
good.
like.
Yeah, you get it's director's discretion.
And then are you gonna do one? Andrew?
I was gonna make a Mary Kate and Ashley reference. It's okay. The Sweet 16 road trip where they get in a hot tub. That one they're like by like the glaciers.
But is that made for
and the,
TV?
Or
I don't
released
know.
directly on
I
video.
don't know, and that's
I think
the
it would be
thing.
directly
I
on
don't
video.
know.
I think that was a
I think
video.
that's
Yeah,
probably
I don't
a
think
really
those
good
movies
one,
ever
though.
went to
If
theater.
it did go to theater,
Well,
then I would have
The
chosen.
Rome
Yeah.
one did.
Oh, When in
Sweet
Rome,
16, yeah.
When in Rome
and
And the Paris
Poss-
one.
and
Passport to
possibly Island in the Sun. Like some of their like more like
Yeah,
budget.
but the
and
16 one, they were budgeted a little bit more. And the scene I'm specifically thinking of, there were like icebergs around. So they were like in Denver, like icy mountain tops. So that's where I was getting like the by water. Because I mean, it's still technically water, right? I mean, it's frozen on top of a
But
mountain.
it's not. It's
That is-
made for.
Yeah, it's
So,
made for TV.
yeah.
Okay,
What do you
I'm
think,
gonna
Cassie?
think-
Little Mermaid, Hot Tub Time Machine,
Psycho.
Psycho.
My wholesomeness wants to go with that one, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Psycho because it's so good
Okay.
for that.
All right.
All right, so that's me. So, in a shower, a bathtub, or a hot tub, character loses their virtue, loses their way, or loses their mind.
Wasn't there a hot tub scene
Hot
in
tub time machine
40-Year-Old Virgin? I
Uh,
think the answer is yes,
I don't
because that was one of
recall.
the scenes that made my mom not let me watch the movie.
Was it a hot
but-
tub or was it a sauna? Is there a?
Can I go with a porn film?
yes.
Was it released for TV? Yeah.
I mean,
It came out in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Can I say this is gonna be really weird, but the I think it's called The Fountain. There's a scene where Hugh Jackman is taking care of his dying wife with cancer, and they're both in the bathtub together,
Yes.
and he's like slowly losing his mind because she's dying.
Yeah, yes.
That movie is
Is that
really
a scene
fucking
from
weird, but
That movie is fantastic.
It's really
I'm
good.
sorry.
It's
That is
good.
Yeah, no, you're
one
right.
of my
It's weird.
favorite
Yeah.
movies.
While I appreciate the
She's
integrity of your
No, it's
reference,
okay.
I have to go with The Fountain because
Fountain
that's
is a really
that's
good
hell
No,
of
that's
a
off.
reference.
That's totally
Yeah,
fine. I just wanted to make
I
sure I
didn't
wasn't
have anything to throw in
crazy.
there.
What?
All right, so
And 40-Year-Old
any that
Virgin
we
did have a
haven't
hot tub
done
scene.
yet?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Have we done Psycho?
Did we do?
Did we
I
did
don't-
props. No, did
We
we?
haven't done props.
No, we haven't done
No.
props yet. Let's do
All
props.
right, so character loses their virtue, loses their way, loses their mind.
A cup, a knife, or some glasses.
Psycho.
Silver Linings Playbook, where they lose their way and lose their mind, and there are many scenes in bars with glasses.
Yeah. And
Are
Psycho.
you talking about like glasses or like cups glasses?
I think you can
Okay.
interpret that however you want. There could be beer glasses in there both.
Let's see here.
I'm just realizing I don't really watch movies where people lose their mind.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay,
I
here we
guess
go.
not,
Here we go.
because I can't think of any.
Rocket Man. All of those sunglasses, man.
What does he lose though? I haven't seen Rocket Man yet.
Definitely
so.
his
His
virtue.
mind
His
and
mind.
his
Okay.
virtue.
And his
Yeah,
virtue.
there's
Okay.
a little bit of both.
All right.
They don't lose any of those things. They just
Dave, do you have
die.
one that you want to throw in? So
No.
I like the
No,
Rocket
that's
Man
right. I wasn't thinking
suggestion,
what I was thinking
but I
of
think
there.
because Silver
Oh,
Lining
yeah.
Playbooks,
I don't think that was
Silver Linings
released
Playbook came first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with that.
Okay. I don't think that was released for theaters.
All right, that is to you, Janelle.
Which one?
All right.
Night Mother. It's very sad. I'm not going to tell you about it.
I know of it.
Okay.
Ooh, I could have said
knife.
actually just Mother.
Or
That
some
would-
Yeah.
glasses.
Oh my god, that movie!
I think now
love
we've
it
done
so
all of
much.
them, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just pick anyone you want that isn't props.
Stop. Yeah.
A cup, a knife, or some glasses.
No, this is. Oh no. that's
Yeah,
not
you
what
can
I
still
want.
pick that one. From outer space or out of town. Star Trek
Baseball.
2: The Wrath of Khan.
Okay.
Knives Out, because Daniel Craig's
Ooh.
character is
Dr.
probably from
McCoy
out of town.
gives
Yes.
Captain Kirk a new set of reading glasses because he's allergic to Retinax 5, the medicine that makes him better able to see. And they break in a very symbolic way at the end of the movie.
But he'll get him back
my.
again
Very
when they go back in
compelling.
time.
It's true. What have you? Or what have you?
Oh God.
Straight up.
Yeah, that was very good. I am
All right.
I don't know what the high five was for.
Because you don't know. Star Trek.
Well, yeah.
I'm feeling very Star Trek right now.
Because I mean, my answer would just be Capote, because that's about somebody who's from out of town, and you could say
That's a good one.
and he's got glasses.
That's
So
also true.
And there's a knife.
there's
in that
definitely
movie.
cups. He drinks a lot of alcohol.
And
so.
there's a knife in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
It
Yeah.
has all the props.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's a very good suggestion.
Oops, I'm
So-
sorry.
You are okay.
What have you?
So this is you. You have to decide.
All I want
I
to say
know.
is like, this is gonna be the stupidest answer ever, but it's great. All I can think of is National Treasure because of the stupid,
Explain.
the bifocal glasses.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
and also
But no one's from out of town in that.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
there?
but they have
Don't
to
they
go
go
to
globe
Boston.
tropping?
They have to
Globe trotting?
explore
Yeah.
globe
They do have to
trotting.
go.
Like they
Yeah,
start
there's a lot
in.
of new spaces.
I think they start in
I
like
was
near
saying
Nova
globe hopping and
Scotia.
globe
Yeah,
trotting
And then they
together.
have to
I
go to
came up globe
DC,
tropping.
and then they spend some time in Philadelphia, and then they have to go
Okay.
to Boston.
And the glasses are a
Definitely
really
not
big
time.
part of
Yeah,
that.
So-
yeah.
Okay,
So
so
I
we
see
have
the clues. Capote.
So we have Capote,
That's a good one.
National Treasure, Star Trek 2.
I said Knives Out, but I don't know if I'm
Knives Out.
correct.
Knives Out is.
There are
cute.
knives.
I don't know if
National
Daniel Craig's character
Treasure
was
is
from
very
out of town.
good. I can't
He's
confirm that because I
British?
haven't seen
No,
Is he not
was,
British?
he was Southern. Remember, he was
Oh.
talking about like a donut.
Oh yeah. What?
That movie's
Now I-
Knives Out was amazing.
I'm gonna go with National
Yeah.
Treasure.
They're
That's really
making-
good.
That's
yeah,
a
no,
good
that's
one.
very
They're making
good.
another one.
Oh god.
Oh my God.
National Treasure 3.
Oh.
So
okay.
You're gonna
I'm
love
just gonna
it.
say I've never really been on board the Nick Cage irony bandwagon.
Have you seen him in Moonstruck though?
But I will say this. I've seen Moonstruck, yes.
He's unironically good.
But I will say this.
I live in Las Vegas.
One of my favorite Nick Cage moments ever came in the movie Knowing.
Yeah.
And it ties into this setting because he plays a college professor in that. And at one point, he tries to, like, get information from this young woman. And he flashes his college ID like a badge. Like he's a cop. And he goes, I'm a college professor. That is the best Nick Cage moment of all time.
I was shattered when I found out we weren't granted that authority when we were given the opportunity to teach.
Yeah.
We didn't just be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Wait, are you trying to tell me I'm not Indiana Jones?
Sorry. None
Television
of us are.
misleads me again.
All right. But now you are the director.
Okay.
So from outer space or out of town, a character from outer space from out of town.
Space Jam!
That wins. That
just take Space Jam.
Yeah, just take
Take
it. Just
Beat me
take it.
to it.
Just take it. I've been waiting for Space Jam to be relevant. I'm like totally gonna apply to
Space Jam wasn't even relevant when it came out.
Oh my god, it was relevant.
so good. Oh,
All right, Kelsey.
Oh.
Sports.
I have chills. I can't get over it. I'm so sorry.
And just another cheap plug, because I like to do that. That is included in my appendix on the worst cult films in my book, The 100 Greatest Cult Films.
Them's fighting
Wow.
words.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
Sports. There's a
The
chase.
OJ trial movie. What's it called? Let's help me
Was
out
that
here.
in theaters?
Yeah, I think
OJ.
it did. I think it released in theaters. It's very new.
I don't know.
No.
Because there's a TV show.
Yeah, I know. There's that like drama TV show,
Yeah.
but I think Andrew was just because documentaries count, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
documentaries.
Okay, I'll
documentaries
look
count.
into it and keep talking,
Yeah.
and we'll see what I come up with.
Sports and there's
The
a
chase.
chase.
Oh, Last Boy
Airbud.
Scout. So the Last Boy
Airbud.
Scout.
Is there a chase in
I-
it?
Do you not consider all the dog chasing the humans as a chase scene? Chase around the court?
All right.
So wait, I have to justify mine because I'm sure nobody else knows this movie. But so the Last Boy Scout stars Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans is a football player who meets up with a private detective. And they end up like going to investigate corruption in football, and there's a big chase scene at the end that ends up with them crashing into a person's pool.
Oh.
Okay.
Rudy.
What is this called again?
The Last Boy Scout. Tony
it, I
Scott
couldn't
directed
remember
it,
the name.
and it's
What year did it
Such
come
a
out?
good
I was
movie.
89, 90 in that
So
range.
it's the
And
OJ
it's
Made in America.
great.
It was released in theaters.
And you
All right,
said
there you go.
I said Rudy
But
Rudy's so fucking
because there's a
good,
chase
man.
sequence because they're playing football.
Does that count as a chase sequence?
Absolutely.
Does
They are
that count as a
chasing him.
chase
They are
sequence?
chasing
But then I
him.
could also just like, why does no one say "Remember the Titans"? Then?
Yeah.
Why
Why
did
did
I
I
say
say
Airbud
Airbud
instead?
instead?
I know.
I'm with you on that.
I feel
I feel like the Last Boy Scout. I feel like the OJ
OJ Made in
documentary.
America was
OJ.
released in
I do
Alright.
feel like that.
And there's a
Okay.
very obvious chase scene in that,
Yes.
and it is about
Yes,
sports.
I will.
I just
Yeah.
gotta say, if you're gonna say no to Airbud, you need to look at a Golden Retriever and say no.
I'm a golden retriever, so you can say no to me and give me that card.
Oh my god.
Get out.
Sorry, I have to. I love you, Janelle. I'm sorry.
That was the best.
I was gonna say, if we were doing made-for-TV movies, I was gonna say, there was like, what was it called? Not Half-Court Miracle. It's like this like made-for-Disney TV movie about all these Jewish kids, and they like hire an ex-basketball star to teach them to play basketball right before Hanukkah.
I know
That
that.
And it's like a Hanukkah
such a
movie.
Disney movie.
That sounds so
It's so good.
It just meets all
I think
the
it's called
conventions.
Half-Court Miracle or something like that.
Disney Channel releases like
And they were like,
solely.
and like, there's a chase
That's
scene because he
terrifying.
lives. The basketball player lives in his van, so they're like chasing his van to find out where he lives.
God.
But then they put him up with a
amazing.
house and like give him like a job and like he's able to like.
All right.
I just want to say to all the Twitch viewers, check out The Last Boy Scout if you've
The
not
Last
seen
Boy
it.
Scout, okay,
It's
sorry.
fantastic.
I will.
There's a chase sequence
Okay.
Really?
involving a map, a match, or a mirror.
National Treasure 2.
Excuse me. And
Does it have a
yes.
subtitle?
I mean,
I don't
that's
remember. But have we gone around
Book of
2
Secrets.
rounds? We haven't gone
I
around
don't
2
think we
rounds,
have,
have we?
so-
No. So that
The
doesn't count.
Scooby-Doo movie.
Which one?
The live
Oh.
action.
The live action
Oh, okay. So what's the match, the map, or the mirror?
Harry Potter 3.
Scooby-Doo movie.
That's like part of the
Harry
part of
Potter
how they get the villain.
and
That's how they get the villain. They like trap it.
burgeoning
in, like,
puberty.
The villain.
Blinding thing,
The
right?
third
Yeah.
one, Harry Potter 3.
oh, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prisoner of Azkaban. Because isn't there a map in there?
Yes.
But they
Yeah,
find the
the
map
map.
and then they're being
There's
chased.
also
Yes.
Harry
So there.
Potter and the
I'm
Sorcerer's
going with Prisoner of Azkaban.
The Chamber of Secrets, and in that one, there's a mirror that they use to protect themselves from the basilisk. And there's also there's a chase scene because in the beginning when they've got the blue car and they're driving it and then they get into the Whomping Willow and the Whomping Willow is trying to beat them up. I'm like, you're being chased by a tree and you're losing, so.
Or when
And
they're
they
getting
get
chased by the train.
Oh yeah,
The Hollywood
yep,
Express.
that's true. Yeah, bum 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 bum. Yep, I remember.
Oh my god!
All right, I have to give that to Janelle for
Yes.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh, for Scooby-Doo. Good.
Scooby-Doo.
That's a good one.
That's good.
Because Matthew Lillard's in that movie and I hate him.
Oh, I love that
Did you know
movie,
that he
though.
still does the voice of Shaggy in the cartoons?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Which I find fascinating.
I mean,
also,
Get a
I
job,
don't
keep a
actually
job.
hate him.
also, Freddie Prinze Jr. writes for
I'm not going
WWE now.
anywhere.
Freddie Prinze Jr. has been doing an
Yes.
incredible amount of stuff.
Freddie Prinze Jr. was a
Voice
writer
actor,
for
a bunch of things
WWE.
I
That
love.
doesn't surprise me.
Mhm.
Great.
He's very talented.
All right.
For
All right.
being, you know,
A match, a map, a match, or a mirror.
We haven't done setting in a little bit, so we're gonna do setting. A map, a match, or mirror. 1899 or earlier.
Ooh.
When it was set. Doesn't have to be made in 1899 or earlier, but.
I would
Man in the
say.
Iron Mask.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's very good.
Oh,
There's a mirror and a match in that movie.
I'm gonna call out Jane Eyre.
Bringing them literary references.
yeah.
Paratextuality.
Let's see here. I'm
She's
gonna
so
do-
invested. I
I'm
want to see
super
where this is
invested.
coming.
I'm gonna do
Oh, I'm
Pirates
so
of the
ready.
Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Nice. That's a
I'm
good
gonna
one.
specify that movie because it's the best
That's a
movie,
good one.
True.
and it has both a map, lots of matches, and at least 7 mirrors
Yeah.
that I've counted.
Do you have anything?
I'm gonna say Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Pride and
good.
Prejudice is such a fucking good movie, and that was one I was gonna say
I know.
next.
Pride and
All right,
Prejudice,
hang
which
on.
certainly has
That
many
mirror
matches.
scene when she's
Yeah,
looking in the
just
mirror
because
and he
we
comes
brought-
up behind her.
Real quick, just because we brought up Pride and Prejudice, I have to say, by the way, that movie is terrible.
No.
Because that adaptation is like the second worst adaptation of the series of the novel, like all told, and that the BBC miniseries with Colin Firth is in fact the OG and the best Pride and Prejudice adaptation,
Okay.
and I will brook no debate.
Okay,
I'll
so
ta-
if
I'll
you're
take
going,
your
if you're
call
going for
first.
if
I
you're
will take your call
if you're going for accuracy, then yes, BBC.
And if I'm
you're
going for hotness, Colin Firth cannot be beaten. He's the best.
I go 2005.
I have no
for me.
horse in this race.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
2005. I'm sorry, but
I'm on
2005.
pause.
I taught that movie in a
Musical
class.
affects, man. That's
Yeah.
the fucking soundtrack for the 2005 movie
All right,
gives
wait.
me emotional
I will-
affects.
So what did you say again? What was yours?
You said Pride and
Hang on.
Prejudice.
No,
No,
that
I
was
didn't
me.
say
No,
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride
What
and
did I say? I said something really good.
You did.
Yeah, it was right away.
It was
Man
right
in the
away.
Iron
Man
Mask.
in the Iron Mask.
I don't know what
Yes.
that is.
See, I was gonna give it to you. I was gonna give it to you, but then you started dissing the movie version. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't have, like I said, I don't have a horse in the race. I gotta give it to you because you came out swinging.
That's
so.
literally. Did you hear my summary of Man in the Iron Mask? I got on this. It was like he's got a twin and he's in an iron mask.
And
Like,
it's really
Yeah,
It's
then
Louis
they,
the
and then they
16th.
take it off and it's
Yeah.
still like super
It's
hot.
the Three
Right,
after 10
Musketeers,
years.
and then
Yeah.
they realize that there's a twin, and they're trying to replace the evil king.
And Leo's
with a
hot.
twin. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Super hot.
And they like
This is
do
the
whole scene of taking off the mask.
And he's like all tortured because he lived like that for 20 years.
in the
Except
mask.
he's still really
In the
hot.
mask.
Yeah, he's like so hot. His
So
face
pretty.
isn't weird at all. Like they did it. This mask is
All
working
right,
for you.
1899 or earlier,
Ooh.
and
Released before the 1960s.
Ooh.
Ben-Hur.
Sure.
Um,
I will not have seen.
The General with Buster Keaton.
Okay.
The 1940s Little Women.
There you go.
Not wrong.
I'm always here to play Little Women. Like
That's the alternate title for the game.
Can I do the what if I can't give a year? Can I just say the original black and white Midsummer Night's Dream?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
absolutely,
nice. Yeah.
absolutely, sure.
I'm
Right.
so sorry, table.
Are you,
guys
is that the
don't
one with
ever
Mickey
invite
Rooney?
me
that
back.
you're
Yeah,
talking about?
Mickey
Yeah.
Rooney as Puck.
Yeah, it's a delightful movie, but
It's really,
he
really
is
good.
just so
He's crazy.
in
So,
that.
He makes me
Chris,
really freaked out.
you in chat say Dave wins for his first love.
Wow.
So you do have a horse in this race, apparently.
I did not say that. I'm not in
All right.
chat.
I'm gonna go
You
with the
can't
one
make
that
me
I've
believe
seen,
otherwise.
which is the 40s Little Women.
That's
So
our
you can take this one.
Yes. I do want to say that Ben-Hur came out in 1959, so I was right on the edge on
Yeah.
that one. I was threading the
So
needle.
now
Now you're up.
it's my. Is
Yeah.
it because I won it?
No,
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 it's
it's
going
we're
around
going
the
around the
table.
circle.
So,
So-
released in the before the 1960s, and
Oh shit, this is gonna be hard.
I'm gonna do maybe like setting.
Okay.
I was trying to think of something that would be easier. So in Europe or South America. Okay.
Casablanca.
Oh,
damn.
nice. That's a good one.
That is a good
I
one.
One of
can't-
you better think of something else quickly.
In Europe, The Third Man.
I don't know how to.
Spartacus.
Third Man.
Ooh.
Orson Welles movie set in the
Yeah.
pre-war or post-war Europe.
Okay.
Very film noir. It's
Okay.
classic. It's so good.
Okay. Okay.
Movie is-
Joseph Cotton.
Yeah, the movie is.
Oh, Joseph Cotton.
Oh, Orson Welles.
You can't
Does
think of
not get
anything.
nearly enough credit for his non-Citizen Kane work. What's his Shakespeare adaptation?
Well, he's got Chimes at Midnight. He's got
Holiday.
Othello.
Yeah, his Othello's good.
Yeah.
But
There you go. I'm
Chimes
like,
at
no.
Midnight's
Is it
so
Roman
good.
Like that movie's fun.
Roman
Oh my
Holiday,
God.
that's what I
Yes,
meant
that's
to
what it
say.
is. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
take
No,
that,
I
take
was
that.
like, no Audrey Hepburn movies for anyone. Yes, Roman Holiday, and I'm
Which
going
is
to
great.
go
I-
with Roman Holiday
I think that.
for my shout
Yeah.
out to my
So does
girl.
Kelsey
Yes.
get that?
Kelsey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right, take it. All right, Kelsey,
I
it's
got
your
to
turn.
see.
Oh, God,
I
last
got to
one.
see Roman Holiday in a theater in Copenhagen at
cool.
a Hitchcock Hepburn retrospective.
That's
That was
super
so
cool.
good.
All
All right, in Europe or South America.
It's 343.
So this will
we
be our
should-
last round.
Yeah.
Buddy
See who
movie.
wins.
Okay, can someone
What's
explain
a
what
buddy
Oh, Road to Zanzibar with Bob Hope and Bing Crosby.
All right,
Holy shit.
Euro trip.
What's a buddy movie?
A movie
Two,
where
two buddies.
like two people like do a thing together.
Shrek and Donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I will say there was a whole series of Road 2 films with Bing Crosby and Bob Hope back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s,
That
and
sounds
they're like
really interesting just for being.
they're very like
Bing
Looney
Crosby.
Tunes esque. They
Interesting.
get like really like they'll address the audience and they'll like,
So, like, meta.
very meta, and,
Yeah.
self-aware.
Okay.
But the Road to Zanzibar.
This was theatrically released, and I'm going to say.
Oh wait, that's not Zanzibar's not. I'm thinking of South
I think
Africa.
this-
I was looking at the wrong
no.
thing. But there's the Road to Morocco.
Okay.
No, it's also Africa.
That is also Africa. What do you got, Christine?
I'm blanking on
have
the title
one.
of it. It's a
What?
Mary Kate. Oh, go. You say yours.
The Road to El Dorado.
No, that's
good.
That's a great one.
Good.
I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody's gonna top that one.
No, I don't think.
Which is actually
Exactly.
the Road to El Dorado is a riff on the Road movies that I just mentioned. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I just love.
What you got?
I can't remember the name. I'm not going to win it, so I'm just going to Google it. And
If it's the
say
last
probably that's what
one.
It was Passport to Paris
Both.
right, with Mary Kate and Ashley.
Yes.
Orbit in Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one.
So
one. Yeah.
if
yeah.
you give it to Janelle, you guys have a 4-way tie.
hmm
If you give it to Chris, he wins.
Well, you still have to do one.
I said Euro trip.
No, you still have to
Oh,
do
I,
one.
I, right,
Yeah.
we can finish around. All right,
Yeah.
so
Okay, I'm gonna give it to Janelle. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
because it's the Road to El Dorado.
All right,
Great.
all right.
It's
And
a great
honestly,
movie.
though, if you
So
like the
this
Road to El Dorado, you
guarantees
should
the
check out
fact
these road movies.
that I
They're very
can't
much of their
compete.
time
Perfect.
I'm in last place.
and
so.
not,
I still-
somewhat problematic at
Yes.
times,
All
but
right, a buddy movie.
very interesting.
A buddy movie that features something either red, white, or blue.
Brokeback
Starsky and
Mountain.
Hutch, and it's probably
Oh.
American flag.
Would you call that a buddy movie?
I might.
I
would be willing to listen to a justification.
I think they're buddies, honestly.
I think they're
You
minions.
have to be friends.
They're buddies with benefits, that's
Look,
for sure.
First of
buddies
all,
with
what
bennies.
if this was a really awkward conversation where you had to explain to me that they weren't just buddies?
Oh.
No. But I mean, you have to be friends before you can be lovers. I'm just saying. They go sit together.
It
And
helps.
I mean,
They
it
don't
does
help.
help,
It's not
but that's not
required.
really
No.
cut
I'm
off
sure
your
it
movie.
started off as a buddy movie, and then they
That's
were
true.
like, we actually like it. It's a little bit more than that.
Can anybody else?
And there's definitely red, white, and blue. There's American
Oh,
flags. That
Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and
oh,
Hutch.
God.
That's
Super
with that
bad.
jacket.
Super bad.
He gets the red.
That's true. But
It's a buddy movie, there's red in it.
Alright,
Super bad.
Oh my
Where he gets the
God.
period blood.
That
there
would be
three
my
of them in
vote.
the movie?
That's very good.
aren't there 3 of them in that movie?
It's Jonah Hill and Michael
Yeah, but
Cera.
it's really Jonah Hill.
I
and
just- I hate
and
Michael
they say I
Cera.
And
love
then they
each
have the
other.
other 2 guys that like
Yeah,
hang around with
Yeah,
them.
but
Whatever.
there's literally an I love you scene at the end where
Yeah.
like I love you too, buddy. Like they
That's
literally
true. Oh my
say
God.
that.
It's a buddy
Like,
film.
Yeah,
There's
the
red.
cover of the movie is also
Yeah.
red. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Could I
Kelsey?
say Legally Blonde too?
Who's the
Sure,
buddy?
you could
Is
say
it the
that.
dog?
Yes!
I thought so.
Who do you think I
How
am?
dare you?
Clearly, I knew that.
Alright. For the sake of both originality and because Chris is the thing,
Ah! How dare you?
Brokeback Mountain.
Even
And
she
the
voted
win.
for mine.
And
Even
the
she
win.
voted for mine.
Just taking the wind out
How
of the sails.
dare you?
That's
This
very
is
good.
awesome.
So
This
that
needs
is
to be the series that we return to.
double feature.
Yes.
I like this
So
movie
good.
or this game. a
I
lot.
would really
Mhm.
like to play this game with TV shows.
We
Yeah.
can do that.
Because
A
Yes.
lot of
The
these,
scheme is
Yeah.
there.
a lot of these would work for TV, shows too.
yeah.
So we should try that.
And honestly, like I discovered this game through there's a podcast I listen to called The Next Picture Show, which is a bunch of Chicago film critics who like will link to films and talk about them. And they played this game on their show once, and I was like, "This is
Cool.
delightful.
Yeah.
I need a copy."
Yeah, this is
and
excellent.
I love it.
Well, all right, everybody.
All right, folks.
I think this was another successful episode of the board meeting.
Hopefully.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank you to our wonderful special
Yes,
guests.
thank
We
you.
hope we will see more of you in the future.
Yeah.
And as for everything else, we will be back next week. Chris, you want to give us a little preview of what we're playing next week?
So next week, because we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day, we are going to be playing some Tofu Kingdom, which is delightful. You should come play Tofu Kingdom. Janelle
You
will
would
hype it
love
up.
Tofu Kingdom.
We're going to play some
Depends on
Love
if I can get
We are
Letter,
going to play some
and
Love
we
Letter.
possibly have one other one in
We
the
have a
works.
mystery game that
mystery
I am
game.
bringing with me that will be very exciting.
So tune in for that, and then the week after that, we'll return to kind of doing movie-based stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, everybody, thanks a bunch.
Bye, folks.
See you later.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.